At one point today, the temperature was 110 degrees. Welcome to baseball on the face of the sun as Kia Motors presents the Wednesday Game of the Week. Tonight, the defending world champion New York Yankees take on the Arizona Diamondbacks in the rubber game of a 3-game set from Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball along with Ken Singleton. I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees lost the first game of the series. Yesterday, they won by a 9-3 score. Alex Rodriguez, big game for him. Andy Pettitte, big game for him. Let's start with Alex, Kenny.
Well, Alex got the Yankees off to a good start. Very first inning, Derek Jeter had a base hit. 2 outs later, Alex Rodriguez at the plate. And just like that, the Yankees had a 2-0 lead. Alex Rodriguez had a big night. He drove in 3 of the 9 Yankee runs. Alex did the hitting. Andy Pettitte took care of the pitching last night. Once again, an excellent effort from Andy Pettitte. Went 7 strong innings, particularly tough on the left-handed hitters. Well, he was tough on everybody last night. Picked up 7 strikeouts. The Yankees went on to win the ball game by a score of 9-3. Andy Pettitte is now 9-2 on the season.
Let's look at tonight's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Starting for the Yankees tonight, Javier Vasquez, 6-6, 5.01. Dontrelle Willis will get the start for Arizona, 2-2 with a 4.78. As for Javi, Kenny, he really has turned his season around.
He certainly has. He had a good outing in his last start against the New York Mets. That's at Yankee Stadium. Unfortunately, he ran into a hot pitcher. The Yankees got shut out that night. But Javi took care of his pitching. He pitched 7 strong innings. For the 4th straight time, he went 7, allowing just 3 hits and 1 run. Had his strikeout pitch working. A lot of changeups working against the left-handed hitters.
Now, I talked about turning his season around. First 6 games, everybody's saying, wow, why'd they get this guy? 1-4, 8.10. Now you know in the last 7 games why they got this guy. 5-2, 2.70. He gives them innings. Opponents don't hit that well against him, and he's also cut down on the home run. So the improvement of Vasquez, that's something that the Diamondbacks would like to see out of Dontrelle Willis. He's lost it for a while. We'll explain what's gone on with him next on segment 2.
Why design a vehicle with 88 vibration control measures? Why engineer 20 available systems that sense and respond to your needs before you're even aware of them? Because the average driver spends over 40,000 hours of their lifetime driving. The 2010 Lexus ES, uniquely designed to make every hour feel just as remarkable as the first. Lease the 2010 ES 350 for $399 a month for 36 months, with $35.99 due at signing.
Are you a victim of the current bedbug epidemic? Stop itching and solve your problem by calling Bell Environmental, the bedbug specialists. We're skilled in the latest and most effective methods of treating bedbugs. We use instant freeze technology, pesticide-free, completely safe, and perfect for use in office environments and other sensitive areas. Our bedbug dog, Roscoe, sniffs out bedbugs and their eggs with accuracy. Call Bell Environmental or visit bellbedbugs.com. Bell Environmental, over 30 years of green.
The challenge makes you stronger.
Every day, every moment.
You want my belt? Come and get it.
So, you want to be a fighter? This is how.
Rated T for teen.
Dish Network claims they have the same TV as DirecTV for less. What Dish doesn't tell you is that if you're one of the millions who love AMC, BET, Hallmark, or MSNBC, you won't get them with Dish Network's basic package. In fact, you won't get any of these 42 channels. With DirecTV's basic package, you get all those channels and a whole lot more. So don't be fooled by Dish Network. When you compare, DirecTV wins every time.
Welcome back to segment 2, everybody. Couple of moments. We'll have first pitch of the Yankees against the Diamondbacks. It'll be thrown by that man, Dontrelle Willis. In 03, the National League Rookie of the Year. He took the game by storm. He won a World Championship with the Marlins, 2-time All-Star, 22 wins in 05. But since that point, it's been downhill. Be interesting to see which Dontrelle Willis shows up tonight.
Well, Dontrelle Willis has made 3 starts for the Diamondbacks since coming over from Detroit, and he's been very tough on left-handed hitters. They're only hitting 118. The problem for Dontrelle is usually they stack right-handed hitters in there against them. The Yankees have some good ones. Right-handers are hitting 306. That's a big difference from 118.
Couple of right-handers that'll be salivating the switch hitter, Mark Teixeira. He looks like he's starting to turn things around. Same thing with Alex Rodriguez. Lineups, first pitch, baseball coming up next.
The 2009 New York Yankees are world champions.
Come out to Yankee Stadium in 2010 to see the 27-time world champion New York Yankees in action. Don't miss T-shirt night on Wednesday, June 30th, when the Yankees play the Mariners. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a 27-time world champions T-shirt, courtesy of Supercuts. In 2010, come home to Yankee Stadium, the home of champions.
Hundreds of ideas and innovations come together to create an entirely new luxury sports sedan. Introducing our best BMW 5 Series yet. Test drive 11 new BMW models at the BMW Ultimate Driving Event on now.
How about we open up a whole can of getting it done and get this year's colors up on the wall this year? Let's get better prices and better paint. Let's break out the drop cloths, rollers, brushes, and tape. Let's start small, then go big, no matter what the budget. And when we're done, let's take a bow. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Try Behr Premium Plus Ultra. It's paint and primer all in one and rated #1.
Introducing Suzuki's free gas for summer event. Suzuki's are built for fun, and they get great gas mileage. So how can Suzuki fuel your fun even more? We can give you free gas for the whole summer. Right now, buy any Suzuki, including the amazing all-new Kizashi Sports Sedan, and Suzuki will give you free gas all summer long. For the free gas for summer event, visit your local Suzuki dealer today. Now get 0% financing on all new Suzuki models. Hurry in.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. By The Karate Kid, starring Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan, now playing. And by the Vermont Department of Tourism. Your next Green Mountain adventure begins at VermontVacation.com. Well, the Yankees trying to take this third game of the set, which is the rubber game. And one thing that they've been getting, Kenny, and they've been getting in abundance, other than from A.J. Burnett, they've been getting really quality starting pitching. Seems like everybody gives you 7 innings.
And it sets up the whole ball game. The offense can get going. He holds the other team down, who the starting pitcher is that night. And it seems that the Yankees offense has been just good enough to pick up some wins. Javier Vazquez has really turned it around of late. So he's been pitching well. He's coming in with tonight's catcher, Francisco Cervelli, will be behind the plate for him tonight.
Well, the Diamondbacks have taken the field, and Dontrelle Willis about to begin his warm-ups, and this is the Yankees starting lineup that he's going to face. It's presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second and playing right field, Nick Swisher. Mark Teixeira's at first base. He'll hit third. Cleaning up and playing third base, a home run last night, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Francisco Cervelli. Curtis Granderson in center field will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing left field, Brett Gardner and Javier Vazquez. The pitcher will bat ninth.
Dontrelle Willis on the mound tonight for the D-backs. He only has one decision in his career against the Yankees. He is 0-1. There are his numbers for the season. That is both with the Detroit Tigers and the Diamondbacks. You can see he's 2-2. And a high ERA, and the opponent's hitting .275. Here's our G pitcher scouting report. Well, he was the 03 Rookie of the Year with the Florida Marlins. And a couple of years later, well, he led the National League in wins with 22. He's always been a pretty good hitter. That's something you might watch out for tonight. But since that 05 season, it's been downhill. Injuries, control issues. And in fact, here with the Diamondbacks, he's pitched 15 innings. He has walked more batters than he's given up hits. He's walked 14 and given up only 13 hits. So he puts a lot of men on base, puts a lot of pressure on his own defense.
Let's take a look at that defense that will be behind him, and it's brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, left to right, will go Gerardo Parra, Chris Young, and Justin Upton. In the infield, Reynolds, Drew Johnson, and Adam LaRoche. Montero behind the plate. and the sometimes erratic Dontrelle Willis is on the mound. Big left-hander. He waits till Jeter digs in. Now Jeter's ready. Willis is ready, and let's do it here in the desert as the left-hander deals. Outside, and we are underway. Derek, 5 hits in his last 16 at-bats, hitting .282. Defense straight away. Third baseman Reynolds deep and close to the line. Count 2-0. You know, you talk to people, what's wrong with Willis, and they will tell you there are so many moving parts in his delivery that he will lose his release point from the beginning of the inning to the end of the inning. It's just hard to stay consistent.
And
like that.
There's an example. And last 3 seasons, he's thrown 116 innings. So he's been in the minor leagues for a spell as well, as they tried to straighten him out in the minors. There's what very funky delivery, and sometimes all those moving parts don't mean strikes, and he hadn't thrown one yet. 4-pitch walk to Derek Jeter.
And I think it was that funky delivery, Kenny, that made him successful in the first place. But now it's kind of turned against him. Let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. 107 degrees outside. It's 79 degrees inside with the roof closed. Humidity is low. Wind 6 miles per hour. And it is sunny and really, 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 really hot. 107.
You know, the Yankees are a problem for any pitcher, particularly one who doesn't have good control. They're not going to swing in many bad pitches.
Here's Nick Swisher, and there's the first strike of the game.
Willis has averaged the most pitches per inning of any pitcher in the major leagues who has thrown as many innings as he has the last 3 years. Almost 20 pitches per inning. So that's why he doesn't hang around long in ball games.
Count 1-1. First 89 games, he was 20 games over 500, sparkling ERA. Wow. The next 50, he started to lose it a bit. The last 50, 6-20 with a close to 6 ERA. It's all gone away for Dontrelle Willis, the 1-1. But he's left-handed, and he has a resume, and people will take a chance because, Kenny, they think that they could fix him, but that's hard to fix.
You know, one thing I would do, I'd have him pitch from the stretch the whole time. Just try and make his delivery as economical as possible. He went from the windup with Jeter up there. He didn't come anywhere near the plate. And now he has to change something differently and go to the stretch and pitch. If you stay one way all the time, like most relievers do, just work out of the stretch. Maybe that would help him.
Hey, we talk about A.J. Burnett, who has a lot of moving parts in his delivery, but not nearly as many as Dontrelle Willis. The 2-1. Wow. Just a bit outside as Jeter will go to second. It seems like he does not have an idea where the ball's going.
That's his 4th wild pitch in 15 innings. You can see the target is right down the middle. And if you're a catcher, just sit right in the middle of the plate. Give him the biggest target possible. Forget the corners. Just try and hit the glove. And it looks like he's concentrating on the glove, but man, Montero couldn't even get that.
3-1. Grounded foul, now 3-2.
You know what? He's making pretty good money too. I mean, that's
yes. And the Tigers are paying for it this year. The 3-2. There's a base hit to left center field. Jeter will score easily. And Swisher with an RBI single. The Yankees up 1-0.
Well, leadoff walks are never good, and Dontrelle Willis, who has retired only 58% of leadoff hitters in an inning, regrets the fact that he walked Jeter, then the wild pitch, and Nick Swisher, who has been money with men on base all season long and very good with runners in scoring position, gives the Yankees a 1-0 lead. I'll tell you what, and if you watch his delivery, it's much, even from the stretch, it's much like his delivery from the windup. A lot of moving parts. It's easy to steal a base on him. All you got to do, if you guess right, High leg kick still. You got a lot of time to take off and make second.
Well, the Marlins were desperate to get rid of him. And the way they traded him to the Tigers wanted Miguel Cabrera. You want him? You've got to take Dontrelle Willis in his contract. And the Tigers wanted Cabrera so badly that they took Willis, and it hasn't worked out. Pitch is high.
And the whole feeling was, as you said, they'd get them to Detroit. We could fix him, and maybe he can help us. Eventually, I had to send him down to the minor leagues. There are other issues. He's had some injuries, anxiety disorder. They on the disabled list for that as well.
Well, the Diamondbacks in a start like this caught between the proverbial rock and a hard place. You know, they yank Willis early. They've got an historically bad bullpen that is practically last in the majors in every category, so there's no respite out there either. The 3-1.
We saw an example of that last night in the 8th inning when the Yankees scored 6 runs in a hurry. Dan Herron had kept the game manageable to that point. It was 3-2. The Yankees had the lead, and it was a ball game. As soon as they went to the bullpen, speaking of the Diamondbacks, floodgates open. The Yankees took over the ball game.
Runner goes, a pickoff. Swisher gets in a rundown. And tagged out. Well, that's one way Willis could get it out.
Yeah, but that certainly was a mistake by Nick Swisher. On a 3-2 pitch, you're worried about the hitter protecting you. Teixeira is going to make sure and hit the ball and protect you that way. He took off way too soon. Just make sure he throws the ball towards home plate. Then you're on the move. He didn't wait. And the result is a caught stealing.
So Swisher picked up his 55th ribby, then is caught stealing. And now here's the 3-2. Way outside. So he has yet to retire a batter. He did get one out on the base paths. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. I think Joe Girardi's telling him exactly what you just said.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to get a big jump there.
Just make sure he throws the ball to home plate.
Here's Alex Rodriguez, had a 2-run home run in the first inning last night. They weren't holding Teixeira there for a moment. LaRoche was playing well behind him and then said, uh-oh, and jogged there. Check this out. Teixeira's thinking, oh no, it's Christmas. And
maybe it was a new defensive posture. You know, the defensive backs come up for the bump and run. They're laying off, and all of a sudden they come up.
Or maybe they just want them to try to steal second. The best way to retire them, the way Willis is pitching. A lot of people feel sorry for Willis because when he was succeeding with the Marlins, the Rookie of the Year, and in 2005 with the 22 wins, he was exuberant. He was a great ambassador for baseball. People loved the guy, and then it just started to fall apart. He hasn't been able to throw strikes. Now, we've seen it throughout history, and the most prominent example is Steve Blass, who once helped the Pirates to a world championship, and then the next year just forgot how to throw strikes.
Yeah, I, in fact, had faced Steve Blass in winter ball when he was going through those problems, and it was almost like it was dangerous to hit against him because he couldn't find home plate. And eventually he just said, that's it. I don't want to hurt people. And I believe he had won a 7th game of a World Series. Yeah. Look out. My goodness.
So that is the 3rd walk issued by Willis, and this is A.J. Hinch, the manager of the Diamondbacks' worst nightmare.
Oh, my goodness.
And Mel Stottlemyre Jr. will make his way out to the mound. Now he's talking with the umpire. Now they're going to go out as an injury timeout.
Well, I think Willis he missed a start here because he had a cracked nail on his finger. And you can see Alex nowhere to go. That ball actually went behind him. And Willis is talking it over. Looks like he wants to stay in the game.
Really? He's telling Stoudemire I'm okay.
Wow. You know, we did mention in the open that he has done well against left-handed hitters. They're only hitting 118 against him, and one reason I think he does so well against lefties because they're stepping in there very lightly when he's on the mound.
He's thrown 20 pitches so far, 15 of them out of the strike zone. Well, here's a lefty batter now. Robinson Cano. Maybe with a lefty in the box, he has to concentrate more on delivering a strike and not just slingshotting it in there and trying to make sense of why he's a little bit better against lefties. He has to throw strikes to get him out. There's a breaking ball with no bite. Nobody is warming in the Diamondbacks bullpen. A couple of people standing up.
Yeah, with the wild pitch this inning, he's thrown 7 wild pitches in his last 6 starts. This is kind of sad.
It is sad.
This isn't baseball.
And it's sad to see a guy who's had success be so totally lost. 18 balls to 5 strikes. And he is unraveling before our eyes. And there he lays in a strike. And a derisive cheer goes up from the crowd. And Stoudemire on the phone. He'll get somebody ready. They can't keep him out there if he can't throw strikes.
The last pitch was just 87 miles an hour, so he's taking something off to get it over the plate.
And that's what happened with Swisher, and that's why he ripped the base hit. And he just lays that one in the count 3-2. And Blaine Boyer, one of the 7 right-handers in the bullpen, begins to throw. Runners on first and second, 1 run in, 1 runner out, or 1 man out, and it was on the base paths. And now a 3-2 count on Cano. Runner goes from second, swung on a miss, and the out is made at third. And the Yankees bail out Willis on the bases. They run into 2 outs on the bases, and Cano strikes out into a double play. For the Yankees, 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 man left. The throw by Montero and a tag by Reynolds. Yankees 1, Diamondbacks coming to bat.
Welcome back to the hit show, Tech and Talk. Recently, I gave Chad an assignment. Test Metro PCS's nationwide coverage.
Oh yes, I have a tasty travel slideshow. First, Dallas, Texas. Then, the Big Apple, San Fran, Florida. Philadelphia. Vegas, baby. South Beach, Miami.
Holy shish kebab! Get unlimited talk, text, and web in over 11,000 cities and towns for just $40 a month, period. Metro PCS.
Hello. Wow, this is really nice. I like it. It's a Jetta limited edition. It's a great value, loaded with heated front seats, alloy wheels.
Red one.
Oh. Guess what?
What?
It's got Bluetooth.
Nice.
Hands-free call.
Silver one.
And you get no charge scheduled carefree maintenance.
Really?
Yeah.
Black one.
We have to start sitting someplace else.
We put a lot more Jetta in this Jetta. Hurry in and lease the new Jetta limited edition for $199 a month. Visit tristatevw.com.
Well, inexplicable base running by the Yankees in the top of the inning bails out Willis, but they still have a 1-0 lead. Let's take a look at the Diamondbacks starting lineup that Javi Vasquez is going to face. It's presented by Lexus. Kelly Johnson at second base will lead off. Batting second and playing shortstop, Stephen Drew. Justin Upton in right field will hit third. Cleaning up and catching, Miguel Montero. Chris Young in center field will bat 5th. Batting 6th and playing first base, Adam LaRoche. Mark Reynolds at third base hit 7th. The number 8 hitter, the left fielder, Gerardo Parra. And Dontrell Willis will pitch and has pitched, and he's going to bat 9th.
Javier Vasquez gets the start for the Yankees tonight, coming off a very good effort in his last start against the Mets, although it was a losing effort. This will be his 13th start, record 6-6. The ERA has been dropping down to 5.01, less than a hit per inning. 30 walks, 62 strikeouts in 7 innings. Opponents hitting just 234. He is 5-3 in his career against the Diamondbacks. Here's a Jeep pitcher scouting report. No June swoon for him. He's 3-1 in June with a 2.25 earned run average. Rolling 7s. His last 4 outings, he's gone 7 innings in each and every one of them. So he's giving length in his starts of late and return to the desert. The Yankees actually traded Vasquez to Arizona in the Randy Johnson deal, and he went 11-15 for the Diamondbacks in his lone season out here in Phoenix.
Robbie Thompson had a little bit of a conversation with Mark Teixeira, who got thrown out at third as Kelly Johnson takes a pitch high. Why Nick Swisher got thrown out, why Teixeira got thrown out,
yeah.
It's beyond us when the guy can't throw a strike. Cano's strikeout should have been the first out of the inning. And you can see Thompson's telling what's going on, and you'll see Mark Teixeira will say, listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What do you say, Michael? Sorry doesn't fix the lamp?
That's what my dad used to say. Sorry doesn't fix the lamp.
I've heard you say that many times.
I actually believe it. If you think before you mess up, you won't mess up.
My mom used to say no baseball inside the house.
And Kelly Johnson walks. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense behind Vasquez, and it's brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher left to right. Infield, A-Rod, Jeter, Cano, and Teixeira. Third to first, Cervelli behind the plate, and Javi Vasquez is on the mound. Now, you don't steal against Vasquez. He has not allowed a stolen base in 61 1/3 innings.
Very quick to the plate. And he's got a good move to first base as well.
That one gets past Cervelli, but he scrambles after it, and Johnson missed an opportunity there.
He certainly did. I don't know if he saw the ball with the left-handed hitting Drew at the plate. But one thing you're taught as a base runner, you watch the trajectory of the ball, and you know what? It was a curveball in the dirt. So I'll give him a break there. It had a snappage and coming straight down. Cervelli couldn't handle it, but Drew Johnson didn't see it. Sometimes you see the ball low and you start to lean because maybe the catcher can't handle it. But that one actually started in the strike zone and dropped the way out of it.
Strange to be bunting there. Do they expect Willis to hold the Yankees to 1 run? So an odd occurrence. Let's see if Drew's doing it again. No, he's not. That's a pitch outside 2-0. So Vasquez is also wild out of the box. Now the Diamondbacks want to be aggressive on the base paths because it seems like the only way they win is to hit home runs. They are 16-3 in games where they hit 2 or more home runs. A.J. Hinch wants them to be able to create runs. In games where they don't homer, Kenny, they're 3-22. Wow. Very few teams can live totally by the long ball. 2-1. Count 3-1.
Well, there's the count. If you want to send Johnson, you might be able to have him on the move. And Drew's looking down at third base coach Bo Porter. Who just went through a series of signs. Let's see if they're going to be aggressive on the bases here.
Hot shot and through for a base hit. Johnson will stop at second. And the Diamondbacks have runners on first and second, nobody out. And that's going to bring up Justin Upton.
Monday night, Upton was a one-man wrecking crew. hit a couple of long home runs. Scored 4 and drove in 3. Man. He had 2 hits last night as well. A couple of singles.
Five for 7 in this series. 15 for his last 43. And Vasquez does not have command early. All over the place, and Cervelli goes out and talks with him. Upton has raised his average 12 points this series with his 5 for 7.
Yeah, this is unlike Javier Vasquez of late. He's been very sharp with his breaking pitches. His changeup has been very good to left-handed hitters, and he's fallen behind every hitter in this inning. I don't know if it was the long top of the first that had him waiting.
Willis can't believe he got out of that first. And now his team might get him a run back. Count 2-0. Johnson at second and Drew at first. And a strike, and count 2-1. A long look in by Vasquez. Now he sees a sign that he likes. Broken bat blooper into right center. It's going to dunk in for a base hit. Johnson had a hold up. He's running through a stop sign. And now they have him in a rundown. And Teixeira runs right at him. They'll tag him out. Now they might get the runner at second, and he's in there. The Yankees had several opportunities there. They could have had the runner at third, and they didn't look up. Then when they caught the runner at second, they didn't look up. They looked up too late. Johnson ran right through Porter's stop sign.
Yeah, he was waving it home, then threw up the stop sign. I think Johnson was running with his head down, and all of a sudden he realizes, well, he's made a mistake here. Teixeira does the right thing. He runs at him. Here comes the tag. But watch what happens with Cervelli. He's looking towards third and then hesitates. He should have the mask off so he can have a better view of the field. And he can't. He says, the runner said that he missed him. But actually he did tag him, and he caught his attention so much that he forgot about the other runners.
Absolutely.
A couple of things there. Get the mask off so you can see what's going on the field. And another thing, you know if you tagged him or not. The umpire had already called him out. But it's been some wayward base running this inning.
Well, the runner's out 9-3-2. And the runners move up on the throw. So one away, runners on second and third. And the pitch to Montero is a strike. Montero's been red hot. 8-game streak. Porter is waving him to third, which is what you're supposed to do, and then he puts his hands up in plenty of time to stop him. But he didn't stop. You could see he wasn't even in the picture, so he had plenty of time to stop if he had looked up.
Well, the Yankees lost a chance to pick up a second out, but either at third or at second. They had a chance at either or. I think a better chance at second. So the D-backs actually came out a lot better in this situation than they should have. They have runners at second and third and one out, and a hot hitter at the plate.
Well, the base running so far in the first inning is not going to go on any Tommy Mansky video, I'll tell you that.
You remember those?
Yes.
Well, you have them.
No, I just remember those commercials. The long throws into the garbage can at home plate.
And Fred McGriff was it? Yeah. Crime Dog.
The 1-2.
Oh, my goodness.
Vasquez all over the place this inning. That is not usually his thing. And the count 2-2. Asking for a conversation with Cervelli.
Garbage can. No.
Hey, stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network.
Those kids look like robots in those commercials, didn't they?
Yes.
Oh, everything. Everything in those videos were like robotic.
How close was this?
Wow. When you're all over the place, sometimes you don't even get the close ones. They make you throw it right down the middle.
And the 3-2. Breaking ball, he missed, and the bases are loaded. And now Mike Harkey wants to talk things over with Vasquez.
One thing you notice when Harkey comes to the mound, he always seems to be on the high ground. No matter where he is on the mound, he's taller than all the players he's talking to.
He's a big man.
Yeah, he is.
So the Yankees lead 1-0, but their lead in jeopardy as Chris Young steps to the plate. Bases loaded, 1 out. Vasquez pops him up behind the plate. Cervelli near the seats, and it's in the seats. That was Vasquez's 20th pitch of this half inning. There's a connection between Vasquez and Young. Vasquez went to the Sox, and the Diamondbacks got Chris Young, Orlando Hernandez, and Luis Vizcaíno. Doesn't make this a referendum on the at-bat, but certainly something to point out. The 0-1 could not hold up in the count 0-2.
Yeah, when Vasquez was traded to Arizona by the Yankees, he wasn't very happy because he doesn't want to be off the East Coast. You know, he's from Puerto Rico, and Arizona's a lot further away. Eventually got to Chicago. Certainly better connections from Chicago to San Juan.
I bet you there's some direct flights. And the 0-2.
And then he went to Atlanta, even closer.
Yeah.
And now back to New York.
I guess his ideal landing spot would be the Marlins.
Speaking of the Marlins,
they fired their manager
today. Manager today.
Freddie Gonzalez.
Edwin Rodriguez, the interim manager.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. 2 outs.
One thing that Vasquez is able to do, he gets a lot of swings and misses on his breaking ball and his changeup. He has very good secondary pitches. And that was a good break. He got Young to chase one out of the strike zone. He's very good at that against the right-handed hitters.
So here's Adam LaRoche. Backdoor misses, and the count 1-0.
LaRoche has been hot of late. He's hit in 8 of his last 11 games. We saw him hit a home run in the first game of this series. 3-run shot in the first inning. Let's go back to Monday. 2 men on and 1 gone. 3-run homer over the pool. Did we ask Kim if they had a lifeguard out there?
Kim, did they have a lifeguard out there? No, you're on your own.
No, you're on your own.
The 2-0. There's a strike. I never liked those. You're on your own beaches and pools.
They usually post signs, though.
You're on your own. The 2-1. There's a strike.
That was a changeup, a 2-1 changeup. We mentioned his changeup been very good. Good job by Cervelli. See how tightly he held the glove, just held it there for James Hoy to make the call.
And the pitch. Count 3-2. Well, everybody's going to be running on 3, 2, and 2 outs. Now LaRoche has seen enough. It's really been a battle for Vasquez to come to an agreement with Cervelli. There's a runner at second, but they are really taking their time here. In the first inning alone, there have been 5 full counts. And the payoff. Line to right field. It's a base hit. Drew scores. Also scoring Upton. And the throw is made to third as Montero is gunned down. But a 2-run single for Adam LaRoche, and the Diamondbacks lead 2-1. Now, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is not an inning for the time capsule. At the end of 1, Diamondbacks 2, Yankees 1.
If you can't wait to see the hottest new releases, you can forget about Netflix and Redbox.
That is exactly right.
DirecTV Cinema brings home the best Hollywood hits the same day as DVD. Yes! Those other guys?
Tonight, tomorrow, when?
28 days later.
Hey, girls. Got him!
DirecTV Cinema brings you new releases sooner. Channels 125 through 199.
It's just that, you know, multiple partners are kind of part of what we do. Hey, Larry.
Yeah.
Hey, Larry. Larry. You ever notice people walk into a room and they just look right past you?
Well, you know, you're not that tall.
And then once you're there, you can't get away from them.
Give me 4.
They just lock you down and I think I missed you, Larry. Oh, thanks.
Late Night Liars, Thursdays at 11, only on GSN.
I'm okay. I'm all right. Yeah, I'll have another.
Ever wonder if a picture could feel more like the real thing? We did. This changes the game. The Samsung 3D LED TV. Live sports in cutting-edge clarity. Colors as intense as the game itself. And 3D that brings it all home. That's the wonder of Samsung.
Well, it's time for the Toyota text poll, and tonight's question is, would you sit through any sporting event for 10 hours? There's a Wimbledon match that's going on. It was suspended for the 2nd straight day for 10 hours. Is it 1 yes, 2 no? You can text us at 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply.
That might happen here tonight.
The way the first inning is going. It was suspended in the 5th set today at 59-59 in games. It's John Isner and Nicholas Mayhew. The 1-0 to Cervelli. Now, in the first inning, I don't know if I've ever seen this before. There's 6 outs, obviously, 3 in the top, 3 in the bottom. 4 of the 6 outs were made on the bases. That one is bunted in front of the plate. Montero guns down Cervelli. Now, Kenny, you always explain things for me when I'm lost. You've got a guy on the mound that can't go throw strikes. Why are you bunting against him?
That's just one of those baseball phenomenals. I have no explanation.
Wow.
Make him throw strikes.
And the Yankees in the first tried to steal bases against them. My goodness. Here's Granderson. You're like giving him a second life. Diamondbacks lead 2-1. The 1-0 to Granderson. There's a strike. These two were teammates with the Tigers, Granderson and Willis. And the count 2-2.
Yeah, getting his breaking ball over. Yeah, last night we had an unusual happening in the American League East. The Yankees won, and everybody else in the division lost. And it was the second time this month that the Yankees gained on every other team in the division. It happened on June 13th. But
could be happening again.
It could be happening again. The Yankees have to get the lead here and then, of course, win this game.
That one is skied to center field. Chris Young is there for the second out. Well, let's see. Tampa Bay lost to San Diego again, 5-4. Baltimore's lost to the Marlins 7-5. So they fired Freddie Gonzalez after a win. How about that? Colorado leads Boston 5-2 in the bottom of the 5th. Let's see Toronto.
They lost.
And Toronto lost 1-0 to the Cardinals. So Bob Lorenz will have all of those highlights a little bit later on. Here's Gardner. Pitch outside.
Gardner's had himself a nice series, but he had 4 hits. They all came in the first game. Last night he was 0 for 3.
He's also had himself a nice month, Kenny.
Yeah.
Hitting .396 in June, 19 for 48. So Willis has regrouped and throwing more strikes.
Yeah, but we talked about all these moving parts and how it could come and it can go. The ebb and flow of a game for him. Now, right now, he seems to be locked in a lot better than he was in the first inning. It looks like he has kind of slowed down his motion somewhat. You know, not so much in a rush to throw the ball. He's kind of slowed it down and concentrating on the target and throwing the ball. Looked like he was really in a hurry the first inning just to deliver the ball, get rid of it. His windup seems to be a lot slower.
Strike 3, Gardner down looking. So how about that? Willis bounces back for a 1-2-3 inning. Gardner did not like the call as we go to the bottom of the second.
The 2009 New York Yankees are world champions.
Come out to Yankee Stadium in 2010 to see the 27-time world champion New York Yankees in action. Don't miss Chip Clip Night on Tuesday, June 29th, when the Yankees take on the Mariners. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yankees chip clip, courtesy of Oldie Guacamole. In 2010, come home to Yankee Stadium, the home of champions.
There's a crossover coaxial. I don't know what it does. It's a tube amp. Do you realize how rare these things are? There's real gas in these tubes.
There are excuses for spending money on luxury. And then there are reasons.
Test drive any 5-star crash safety rated Acura at the Driven by Reason sales event.
Take advantage of attractive offers on the 2010 Acura TSX for well-qualified customers.
So can you boys help me with all my car needs? Be trustworthy, greet me with a smile. I want to say, I got a car guy. You boys are just what I've been looking for. You got this, right?
Right now at Pep Boys, buy 1 tire for as low as $29.99. Buy any 2 tires, get a free oil change. Buy any 3 tires and get the 4th tire free.
Pep Boys does everything for less.
Time for this moment in Yankees history, brought to you by Johnny Walker. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. Tomorrow, in 1970, so that's 40 years, in a doubleheader against the Indians, Bobby Mercer hit 4 straight home runs, including 3 in one game, tying a club record. And Bobby always told me that they didn't pitch to him. They really didn't give him any kind of pitch to hit in the 5th at bat when he could have gotten for 5 in a row. I think Alvin Dark was the manager then of the Indians. So a great couple of games there for the late Bobby Mercer. 2-1 Diamondbacks lead the Yanks. We're in the bottom of the 2nd. Here's Mark Reynolds. And there's a strike.
Yeah, we talked about Reynolds in all of his strikeouts, 101 now. But since he's debuted in the National League, that was back in May of 2007, no third baseman in the National League has hit more home runs than this guy. 106.
One popped up behind the plate, and Cervelli gives it a look. A lot of home runs the last 3 seasons, 44 last year, a lot of strikeouts as well. So you're trading strikeouts for home runs, and was it 236 last year? And that's the all-time record in a single season. The 1-2. Now, speaking of home runs, did you hear Alex Rodriguez's comment after the game yesterday? He's got 592 home runs.
Yeah.
So he hit a home run in the 1st inning, his 9th of the year. It'd been 50 at bats since his last one. And he said, well, you know, I just consider myself a guy who drives and runs. I'm not really a home run hitter. Really? Really, you're on pace to hit 800 for your career, more than anybody else, and you're not a home run hitter. I think that came as news to a lot of people when he said that.
I think what he's trying to say, now I'm not going to speak for him, I think what he's trying to say, I'm a hitter, and I'm just trying to go. If you go up there trying to hit home runs, it's not going to work. He just feels that he's a hitter, and it just so happens sometimes they go out of the ballpark, but at a better, you're right, at a better rate than anybody else. You go up there to hit. You don't go up there to hit home runs.
He's mad as hit 592.
Yeah, but you understand what I mean, though.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm wondering. Shattered bat on the breaking ball and fouled away. Sheared off the top of the bat.
Well out in front. He's going to hit this one off the end. Had to get a new piece of lumber. You know, some of the bats have that cup at the end. And what that serves purpose, you can supposedly get a better piece of wood and have a lighter bat. Yeah, there was a cup on the end of that one.
I just felt like Alex saying that is like, I don't know, Jennifer Aniston saying I'm not pretty. I mean, he is a home run hitter.
He is what he is.
He is what he is.
But he doesn't want to come out and say, I'm a home run hitter.
2-2. Missed outside with the breaking ball. And you could see Joe screaming both ways because they didn't like the call on Gardner to end the top of the inning.
The pitch was a little bit outside.
3-2. Off the end of the bat, a weird roller as Teixeira stays with it for the first out. Come home to Yankee Stadium in 2010 to see the 27-time world champion New York Yankees in action. On Wednesday, June 30th, the Yankees take on the Mariners, and it's T-shirt night. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a 27-time world champion T-shirt, courtesy of Supercuts. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849.
Yeah, look, the spin. A lot of English on that ball off the end of the bat once again. And you know, I talked to both Cano and Jeter before the game about the infield. We talked about how quick it is, and they both agreed it's very fast. One of the fastest infields they've ever played. But Derek had one other comment about the infield. He said it's very choppy too. So maybe he doesn't feel as confident that ground balls are going to come smoothly towards him.
Laced out to left field. Gardner's right there to retire Gerardo Parra. And that'll bring up the D train, Dontrelle Willis. And Joe Girardi told Kimberly Jones before the game, this guy's a really good hitter. And Joe used to manage him with the Marlins. Willis is 1 for 2 since coming to the Diamondbacks. And we can all figure that out. That's 500. Lifetime 233, 8 homers, and 35 ribbies.
8 home. He had 3 in one season.
Grounded sharply to Cano, so he really hit that ball. But a 1-2-3 inning for Javier Vasquez. We played 2 here at Chase Field. It's 2-1 Diamondbacks.
Bring the family to the CBS Radio Expo, Saturday, June 26th at Yankee Stadium. Meet athletes and your favorite radio personalities. Live performances by Chris Allen and Eddie Money. And check out the new Yankee Stadium. Tickets are on sale now, only $5. For more info, visit cbsradioexpo.com.
New York, New York. It's my foundation. It's the center of my growth. It's the muse for my art.
I think that Jay is like infinitely curious.
Yeah, I'm out at Brooklyn. The stabs up a little bit though.
If you were a candy man with eyes made of gumdrops, a heart filled with marzipan, then I'd tell you so soft that I wouldn't share, 'cause no one can have you but me. You're so sweet, you're so sweet.
Sweet Million is sweeter than sweet, just sweet. Sweet Million from the New York Lottery. Your best chance to win $1 million for $1.
Wow, this is really nice. I like it. It's a Jetta limited edition. It's a great value, loaded with heated front seats, alloy wheels.
Red one.
Oh. Guess what?
What?
It's got Bluetooth.
Nice.
Hands-free calls.
Silver one.
And you get no charge scheduled carefree maintenance.
Really?
Yeah.
Back one.
We have to start sitting someplace else.
We put a lot more Jetta in this Jetta. Hurry in and lease the new Jetta limited edition for $199 a month. Visit tristatevw.com.
Well, let's look at the upcoming schedule brought to you by Acela Express. Enjoy the journey. Off day tomorrow. The Yankees travel to L.A., short flight, and then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evening, they'll take on the Dodgers. After the Sunday game, they fly home. Monday's an off day, and another homestand. Seattle 3, and then Toronto 3. 4 day games next week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on a holiday weekend. July 4th is Sunday. And the season chugs along. Well, we go to the 3rd inning. The game is not in that coloring book. You got to look out there. There you go. And there's a strike to Vasquez.
Javier Vasquez is no slouch with the bat. He can swing it pretty well at 206.
Diamondbacks lead 2-1. Pitch outside.
Last inning, Willis had a 13-pitch inning. The previous inning, he had thrown 26.
Grounded softly toward third, but it's a foul ball. Everybody seems to be moving in slow motion tonight. Javi Vasquez taking his time getting back. The pitchers are not exactly working with any kind of rhythm. We're in the third inning, rubber game of the 3-game set, and the Diamondbacks are leading 2-1. Way outside. And the count full.
Oh, we talked about how usually when the pitcher's leading off an inning, he's a free out. And Willis maybe not going to be able to take advantage of it.
And you wonder, as we said at the start, he loses it, finds it, loses it, and finds it, and you don't know why. And it looked like that on that 2-2 pitch where it wasn't even close, that maybe he had lost it again.
Yeah, this is just about the same pitch as the 3-1 pitch. That's his 4th walk.
Jeter started the game with a 4-pitch walk and scored the Yankees' only run. And a strike. Fouled away.
That was a hanging breaking ball, and Derek was a little late to get to it. Ooh, that was right there.
Grounded softly toward third. They get the force at second on Vasquez for the first out. Well, here comes Nick Swisher. Why don't we take a look at the Home Depot hitter scouting report on the Yankee right fielder?
All the numbers are good when it comes to Nick Swisher, and this is before his first at bat when he got a hit and drove in a run. So 379 with runners on base coming into tonight's game, and that has improved. So has a 333 with runners in scoring position, got a base hit, and 315 on the road. Nick Swisher having a tremendous year out of the second slot in the order for the Yankees.
Swisher RBI single in the first inning, then inexplicably was picked off. It scored a caught stealing, and if you're scoring at home, 1-3, 4-3, 6 is the way you would make that out. And here it is. A 3-2 pitch was going to be on the way to Teixeira, and he got picked off. And then Robbie Cano strikes out, and Teixeira inexplicably tries to steal third. It's a very odd first inning.
Yeah, Dontrelle Willis is about ready to paint himself into a corner which he couldn't have gotten out of it. He was all over the place. He has settled down somewhat in the second, certainly with a 1-2-3 inning. Not quite as wild as he was in the first here in the third.
Count 3-0.
Maybe I spoke too soon.
$29 balls, 23 strikes. This is a tough pitcher to play behind. The defense not as sharp because he's not throwing strikes. There's a strike.
That is very true, because it's hard for them to anticipate the ball being hit. just standing around watching. That was close. Borderline strike, and no, we are down near the border, so Nick Swisher is going to come back to home plate.
Dontrell, for all of his wind-up and gyrations, he really doesn't throw very hard at all.
Not the way he used to when he first came up. And he's had some arm problems. Mentioned he's also had leg problems too. So cut down on the velocity over the years.
And he walked him.
The D train used to be more of an express.
Fifth walk for Willis.
He's given up one hit, and we told you in the open he's walked more batters than hits given up. And what happens is hitters just wait him out. Gets himself into trouble.
Count 1-0.
Wow.
Count 2-0.
Montero went to an off-speed pitch trying to get him to throw a strike, and it was nowhere near the strike zone. You know how many side sessions he's probably thrown trying to get himself straightened out with you know, all the ball clubs he's been with. Florida, Detroit, Mel Stoudemire Jr. just looking at it. There's not much. There's no defense against ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, ball 4. You got to have the opposition hit the ball, put it in play, and maybe one of your fielders will bail you out. But when you continue to throw pitches like that, there's nothing that anybody can do to help you in the dugout or help you behind you on the field defensively.
Now does Girardi green light Teixeira, thinking that he's going to get a cookie right down the plate?
No, I don't think so. The being that if he walks, you got to figure he's going to throw a ball before he can throw 3 strikes.
Exactly. 6th walk, bases loaded.
See, now he's the ebb and flow. It's going back the other way. Now he can't throw strikes.
Well, Mel Stoudemire Jr. making his way out there again. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. A lot of pitching DNA right there. Mel Stoudemire, former Yankee pitching coach, pitched for the Yankees. Todd Stoudemire, one of his sons, now Mel Stoudemire Jr., a pitching coach. Todd pitched very well in the big leagues.
I mean, if you're Alex Rodriguez, you come here with the bases loaded. You're looking for a pitch right down the middle.
Breaking ball is outside. Not even coming close.
It's almost like when the pressure of the situation gets worse, his control gets worse. More men get on base as Blaine Boyer's warming up in the Arizona bullpen. All of a sudden, you can't throw strikes anymore.
The 2-0. 2-1.
You know, when you're up there in these situations, you got to go to your no-help offense. You know, you're up there, you're thinking of driving in runs, but you got to make sure he throws strikes. He is really trying to paint himself into a big corner.
So now the count 2-2. Alex with 20 grand slams, right behind Manny for second on the all-time list, and the Iron Horse is first. And the pitch way outside, and the count is full. Sixth full count tonight for Dontrelle Willis. And the 3-2 upstairs. That'll force a run. An RBI for A-Rod coming home as Jeter, and the game is tied at 2.
Yankees do not have a hit this inning. And they've picked up a run. And the only reason I think that Willis is still in there, Boyer should be ready, is because the left-handed hitters coming to the plate. They're stalling.
I'll tell you what, Willis keeps taking the ball every 5 days. Hinch and Stoudemire will have the linings of their stomach eaten away. It's tough to watch.
No, it's not good.
And you have the feel for Dontrelle Willis. He's trying out there. He just has no clue how to pitch anymore.
Yeah, this isn't baseball.
No. So Hinch is going to signal to the bullpen. He'll bring in Blaine Boyer. And with some compassion, he's going to take the ball from Dontrelle Willis. You got a feel for the guy. It's a 2-2 game, bases loaded. Stay here.
Wow, this is really nice. I like it. It's a Jetta limited edition. It's a great value, loaded with heated front seats, alloy wheels.
Red one.
Oh. Guess what?
What?
It's got Bluetooth.
Nice.
Hands-free calls.
Silver one.
And you get no charge scheduled carefree maintenance.
Really?
Yeah.
Back one.
We have to start sitting someplace else.
We put a lot more Jetta in this Jetta. Hurry in and lease the new Jetta limited edition for $199 a month. Visit tristatevw.com.
So word's getting out that Geico can help people save in even more ways. On motorcycle insurance, RV, camper, boat insurance. Nice work, everyone.
Well, it's easy for him. He's a cute little lizard. Gecko, actually. With all due respect, if I was tiny and green and had a British accent, I'd have more folks paying attention to me, too. I mean, well, save money. Pip, pip, cheerio.
British? I thought you were Australian.
Well, it's funny you should ask, because actually, I'm from...
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
How do you top the achievements of the past? The only postseason perfect game ever to be pitched. The 3 home runs blasted on one October night. And that 27th championship in the new house. It might not be easy, but in the Bronx, history tends to repeat itself. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees.
Dontrelle Willis shaking his head, can't believe what just happened. 2 1/3 innings, 1 hit, 7 walks, 2 runs, 2 strikeouts, and he's responsible obviously for all 3 runners on base. He threw 66 pitches, and most of the time he had no idea where they were going. Even when he threw a strike, I think it was almost by accident.
You know, it's I don't know what you can do from this point. Can you send him down to the minor leagues and you know, trying to work? The Tigers tried that. Didn't work for them.
Well, A.J. Hinch makes the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible. How desperate were they to get Willis out of the game? They brought in a right-hander, Boyer, to face Cano, who actually struck out against Willis in the first inning. And those are the numbers on Boyer: 20 hits in 18 innings, way too many walks. We told you the Diamondback bullpen is historically bad. They are last in almost every statistical category. I don't mean last in the National League. I mean last in baseball.
They bring him in to face the hitter that is tops in the American League against right-handed pitching. Cano's hitting .392 against right-handers.
Bases loaded, 1 out, 2-2 game. Now their bullpen ERA, and we'll give you a look at all of the numbers. The bullpen ERA 7.36. Now that's last in baseball. Do you know that the 29th team has a 5.36 ERA? So their ERA is last by 2 full runs. But they thought it was better than Willis. The 1-1. Chop towards second. Tough hop. Kelly Johnson goes to second, one on to first. It's a double play. So he gets the job done. Blaine Boyer gets the leading hitter in baseball to bang to an inning-ending 4-6-3 double play. 2-2.
College football's newest bowl game is coming to Yankee Stadium. Tickets are on sale now for the New Era Pinstripe Bowl, December 30th, pitting powerhouse teams from the Big 12 and Big East conferences, which have produced some of the top players of all time in college football, including national champions, Heisman Trophy winners, and All-Americans. Circle the date, December 30th, and make your plans to be at Yankee Stadium for the New Era Pinstripe Bowl. Purchase tickets at pinstripebowl.com, the Yankee Stadium box office, and Ticketmaster.
During the Kia Sweet Summer Sales Event, come and see why we are one of the fastest growing automotive brands in the U.S. Get great deals on the Sorento, Forte, Soul, and the rest of our lineup. And right now, lease the Sorento for $239 a month.
Wow, that guy's really staring over here. Must have sold him some carpeting or something.
Mike, check out his bacon neck.
Bacon? Sir, lean forward and show Michael Jordan your collar.
Oh, see how it's all curled up like bacon in a pan? See how bad this dude looks?
What's that? Thank you.
Okay.
Not us, though, buddy. Our lay flats. We're like twins.
No, we're not.
Yeah, we are.
No, we're not.
The lay flat collar. Lays flat, won't bacon. Only from Hanes.
Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Blimpie, America's Sub Shop, and by Acura. Acura Advance. Well, how about this little bit of information? Dontrelle Willis walked 7 in 2 1/3 innings, and he cannot lose this game. Blaine Boyer got the Yankees and Robinson Cano to bang into a double play to end the inning, and it's 2-2. Well, we hope you all stayed with us through that, because that was not easy to watch. Kelly Johnson now will lead off against Javier Vasquez. Pitch outside. Now, one final thing on Willis, Kenny. You know, we say that somebody always thinks that they could fix him. Well, he's got the fact that he's left-handed going for him as well. But here's my other thought. His stuff isn't electric anymore. Why would anybody take a chance?
Yeah, you're right. He used to throw 94,
Yeah.
maybe even 95, but now I think he topped out tonight at 88.
High fly ball, deep center. Granderson back. And on the warning track, he makes the play to retire Johnson. Talk about pitchers that are struggling. A.J. Burnett earlier today had a bullpen session. He's going to start on Saturday against the Dodgers. So Mike Harkey working with him in front of Joe Girardi. Joe also having some words with the big right-hander, and they have to straighten this guy out because he is 0-4 with an over 10 ERA in the month of June. There's a ground ball to first off the bat of Drew, and he flips to Vasquez, 2 away.
Oh, we all know what A.J. Burnett can be like when he's on. And we saw that at the beginning of the season when he jumped out 4-0. And it looked like this was going to be his really big-time season. But he's been derailed. And maybe, you know, a bullpen session like that with the manager around, maybe it'll have an effect. You'll find out on Saturday. when he pitches against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium.
Here's Justin Upton. Single to right center in the first inning. And there's a strike. Vasquez really struggled in the first, and a couple of base running blunders by the Diamondbacks got him out with somewhat limited damage, just allowing 2 runs. Worked a 1-2-3 second, and now retired the first 2 here in the third. 1-1. And the pitch. Driven out to right field. Swisher is there. And he'll make the play for the final out of a 1-2-3 inning. And Vasquez did it in just 7 pitches. We go to the 4th, 2-2.
I will teach you real kung fu.
I'm ready.
Rock and roll.
The Karate Kid is a knockout. 4 stars.
Nice.
You'll stand up and cheer. Rated PG.
You don't just wake up one day and say, I'm running for Attorney General. If you're Sean Coffey, you grew up in a family that struggled through hard times, but never stopped believing in better ones. You spent years as a naval officer, tough federal prosecutor, and as a lawyer who took on Wall Street on behalf of thousands of defrauded investors, holding company officers accountable by making them pay out of their own pockets.
New Yorkers don't need another politician seeking office. We need an attorney general seeking justice.
4 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with mesothelioma. The companies that did it refused to take responsibility for it. The thing that my husband worried more about than medical bills was taking care of his family. Levy Phillips and Connors did everything that they said they were going to do. They got the justice that we deserved.
Call 1-800-MESO-LAW for your free mesothelioma guide with 2 DVDs and over 100 pages of legal and medical information.
In 90 minutes, anything can happen. One moment, a breakaway could stop your heart. The next, an iron crossbar questions your faith. Minute 23, you hate him. Minute 32, all is forgiven. And minute 89 is the longest minute of your life. Major League Soccer. It only takes 90 minutes for your world to change.
As we go to the 4th inning, it's time for the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. On January 11th of '05, the Yankees acquired Randy Johnson from the Diamondbacks for Javier Vasquez. And what 2 other players? Now, don't look it up. See if you can remember, and then we'll tell you in the bottom of the 4th. Francisco Cervelli against Blaine Boyer on in relief of Dontrell Willis. Count 1-0. Give you a clue on the trivia. One is a pitcher and one is a position player. Hope that helps. One. 1-2. Jorge Posada caught the first 2 games. That's the first time since he's come off the DL that he caught 2 in a row. So this is just a day off. They don't want to push it. And that gives him 2 days off in a row because tomorrow's an off day. The 1-2. Strike 3. Cervelli is down looking.
So Boyer has come on to get a double play, and now a called 3rd strike. Cervelli might have thought it was high. It did look like it was in the upper reaches of the strike zone. Blaine Boyer, originally signed by the Atlanta Braves. The Braves do a very good job of scouting in their area. He's from Marietta, Georgia. They sign a lot of local kids. Boyer was actually an All-American honorable mention center fielder in high school, as well as a pitcher.
Count 1-1 on Granderson. Granderson with a fly ball to center. His first time up. That one is driven to center. Young back. Still back. It's going to be over his head and up against the wall. Granderson will stop at second with a 1-out double.
Well, Granderson, we mentioned, had been struggling, but he got a pitch out over the plate here and just gives it a ride. Boyer leaves one up in the strike zone about bell tie, and the speedy Chris Young can't run it down. All he can do is retrieve it. You can see in the retrieving mode as soon as the ball is hit. And Granderson has himself a ringing double to deep left center field. Maybe that'll get him going.
Here's Gardner. There's a strike. Chop towards short. Drew is there. And he gets Gardner for the second out. That moves Granderson to third. And will bring up the pitcher Vasquez.
We showed you Vasquez's career batting average over 200. I think when you get a pitcher anywhere on the, say over 150. I mean, he's a threat. Anybody up there with a bat in his hand is a threat. But when you got a pitcher up there hitting over 200, he knows what to do with the bat. He's an excellent bunter, but in this case, he wants to drive in the run.
He walked in the third. And the pitch. Pitch inside. You can see Boyer has some hair on his fastball, 95 miles an hour.
Yeah, while he was working his way through the Braves organization, had a lot of injury problems. Shoulder, forearm, oblique, right shoulder surgery, and eventually was traded to the Cardinals and claimed off waivers by the Diamondbacks, and now he finds himself here working out of their bullpen.
He's gone 2-0 against the number 9 hitter. And now he's gone 3-0. 3 straight 95-mile-an-hour fastballs out of the zone.
I would expect that Vasquez would be not taking only one pitch. He'll be taking 2 if the first one's a strike here. You don't have to worry. Oh, I thought that was low.
Certainly wasn't right down the middle.
That was low.
Granderson's at third. 3-1, and he walked him. So Vasquez walks for the second time, and that's inexcusable by Boyer. Now he'll have to face Derek Jeter.
I'll tell you what, the Yankees have been handed 8 walks, and we're only in the 4th inning. It's hard to walk that many batters and beat a team, because eventually somebody's going to come up with a hit and drive in some runs.
Along with Ken Singleton and Kimberly Jones, I'm Michael Kay. You're watching Yankees baseball right here on the Yes Network. We thank you for joining us on this Wednesday evening. The Yankees and the Diamondbacks tied at 2 in the rubber game of the 3-game set. Hard to believe it's an 8-walk game and it's a tie game at 2-2. And there's another ball.
See what happens, and I've mentioned this many times before. Pitchers walk this many batters. Eventually they come in with a strike and they have to regain the strike zone, and that pitch is almost right down the middle, and that's when somebody tattoos one.
Chopped slowly toward short. Charging Drew. Fires to first. And they get Jeter for the final out of the 4th inning. So the Yankees threaten but can't push a run across. No runs a hit and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a 2-2 game.
Tobacco companies are now using colored packaging because deceptive labels like light and low tar have been banned. Don't be fooled. All cigarettes contain the same poisons that make you sick and kill you. Quit smoking today. For help, call 311.
If you need any more reasons to get out and make the most of this time of year, your Jeep dealer has 5 that get you into it like nothing else. From the legendary Jeep Wrangler to the capable Grand Cherokee, the Sky Slider-equipped Liberty, and Patriot or Compass, starting at $15,995. Now, lease a 2010 Jeep Liberty Sport for $259 a month for well-qualified returning Chrysler lessees. I live, I ride, I am. Jeep.
Hey, volley for serve.
Friendly competition runs on Dunkin'? America runs on Dunkin'. With our refreshing Culotta flavors. Enjoy an icy boost with our new blue raspberry flavor today. America runs on Dunkin'. Hurry in today and enjoy any size iced tea for just 99 cents.
All we ask is that you keep doing what you've always done. The Lexus RX. Never has a vehicle been designed to feel so natural. Lease the 2010 RX 350 for $479 a month for 36 months, with $36.79 due at signing.
As we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, time for the answer to the New York State Smokers Quit Line Quiz. January of 2005, the Yankees got Randy Johnson from the Diamondbacks for Javier Vasquez and what 2 other players? The answer is Brad Halsey and Diana Navarro. Last year, Halsey was pitching for the Independent League Long Island Ducks, and we know Diana Navarro is the catcher, one of the catchers for the Tampa Bay Rays. So it's 2-2 bottom of the 4th, and it'll bring up Miguel Montero. Montero and the closer of the Tigers, Jose Valverde, had a very entertaining and interesting exchange of barbs at the end of that series. And that was right before the Yankees came into town. The Diamondbacks were actually in Detroit last weekend. And the Yankees have seen Valverde's act. You know, he gets people out. He does a little dance on the mound. And Montero just tore into him. Said he was a jerk. And then Valverde said, hey, I've got 8 years in the big leagues. Tell him to shut up. And they went back and forth. And Montero said, hey, bottom line, he's just dumb. It really was like, you know, 5th grade stuff in the schoolyard.
Yeah, plus they said some things you can't repeat on TV.
Right. Well, we could repeat it once.
You could.
And that'll be it.
Kim, you ready?
But it was entertaining because of its youthfulness. That one is hit past a diving A-Rod into left field. So Montero with a single extends his hitting streak to 9 straight.
A-Rod off the line. Did get some leather on this one. Montero early in the season doesn't have many at-bats, and that's why his average is over 400. Let's see, is it 1 step and a dive? The crossover, maybe 2 steps, the dive off the leather and into left field. Montero had knee surgery back in April, missed some time, recovered. Now he's become the D-backs number 4 hitter against right-handed pitching.
Montero yesterday had super nice things to say about the Yankees. He said, I'm glad they're in. I want to watch them. They act like professionals. They have fun, but they know that their job is to win, and they do everything right. He goes, and I'm glad I could watch them and learn from the way they play. And he said when he caught the first game on Monday, he could not believe at the beginning of the game he looked up and there was Derek Jeter. He said, I used to look up to this guy and follow him when I was in Little League, and now I'm trying to get him out. He said it's very neat having these crowds here, the energy in the ballpark, and it's great watching how a great team plays.
Well, he held Derek to an 0 for 3 with a couple of walks in the first game. Derek came back with a 2-hit night last night. You know, you're right about the energy in the stadium here at Chase Field, because they've been averaging just, what, about 24,000 a game?
Yep.
And these last 2 nights, 47 and 45, and another good crowd. And a lot of Yankee fans out here.
Now, it's amazing how teams will look at the schedule at the beginning of the year, all the interleague teams that don't get the Yankees to come in. And if they're playing the Yankees, they want to play the Yankees at home. They don't want to go to Yankee Stadium. I mean, the players might want to see Yankee Stadium, but the business of baseball, they want the Yankees to visit because the Yankees bring Yankee fans and big crowds all the time. So that's one of the big hits of interleague play. Where do the Yankees go?
Well, the last time the Yankees were here was 2004, and he had 3 sellout crowds.
And I'm sure all 3 games in LA will be sold out. Yankees and the Dodgers.
Well, Dodgers do well on their own.
Yes,
they draw pretty well. Pretty well. I shouldn't say they draw very well.
(3-1). Hot shot. Fair ball down the left field line. That'll go into the corner. Montero chugs to third. Ball fielded by Gardner. He'll get it in. It's a double for Young. And the D-backs are set up. Second and third, nobody out.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed about Young in this series, anything on the outer third of the plate he has problems with. But if you get it inside, see the target low and away, his ball drifts a long way. And it's on the inner third of the plate. Anything in, he's quick on. And he turned on it. That's Vasquez's fault. He didn't get that pitch anywhere near where Cervelli wanted it, and it turned into a 2-base hit.
So here's LaRoche, who drove in the 2 runs that the Diamondbacks had on the board. That was in the first inning. He has 47 ribbies, so he's done a nice job this year, hitting .258. Yankees play the infield back. They'll give up a run on a ground ball. And a strike. This will be the 60th pitch for Vasquez. This is as shaky as he's seen in about a month. Line drive, base hit. Over the head of Teixeira, down the right field line. 2 runs will score. Another 2 ribbies for LaRoche, and it's 4-2 Arizona.
Yeah, LaRoche has had himself a nice series here against the Yankees. Remember, he's going to be a free agent. He is definitely trade bait as we get closer to the trade deadline next month. He has now driven in 7 runs in this series. There's a hanging breaking ball in the middle of the plate. Arizona tonight 3 for 4 with runners in scoring position. Teixeira up the ladder but doesn't come down with anything. Up, but no cigar.
Still nobody out, and here's Reynolds. There's a fastball strike. Blocked there by Cervelli. Well, the Yankees certainly did not want to come into Arizona and possibly lose 2 out of 3. I mean, the Diamondbacks are not a very good team this year, so you know they are desperate to rally in this game. Blew a fastball by him.
And they've been struggling big time against American League teams.
Yankees even the series with a 9-3 victory yesterday behind Andy Pettit, but Vasquez struggling tonight. The 1-2. Foul back.
Here's where Vasquez usually tries to lead a right-handed hitter out of the strike zone with a good slider away.
Almost a 1-to-1 strike to ball ratio.
Yeah, that's not Vasquez.
3 more strikes than balls. 1-2.
Yep, tried to lead him, but he wouldn't go after it.
Two popped up behind the plate, and it makes the seats. And the 2-2. He cannot throw that breaking ball consistently for strikes.
You know, and a lot of times he's just trying to throw it just out of the strike zone, and he's throwing much too far out of the zone. The hitter won't chase it. And Vasquez gets a lot of swings and misses on pitches that just tail out of the strike zone, particularly on his slider. But tonight he can't get it close enough that even a hitter that strikes out as many times as Reynolds does will chase it.
Fouled away. That little guy's happy. This will be the 9th pitch of this at bat. Popped up. And Cervelli puts it away, and Mark Reynolds blamed it on the bat. He completely smashed the bat in half when that ball was in the air. So there's one away.
It looked like he thought he had a pitch that he could hit and didn't do so. Sent it straight up the silo. And he's got a big swing. He's got a lot of movement in his swing. Yep.
What a bad way for that bat to go. It gets smashed by the batter and then hit by the mask. So double insult. Now Harkey goes out to talk with Vasquez. And that is a tough ending.
J154.
Gone.
Yep.
It's now kindling.
You know, I'd say save it for the for kindling in the winter, but you know they don't need it here.
No. Here's Parra. Fly ball to left. That was in the second. Grounded foul.
And I've been here in the wintertime. You do need a jacket at night.
But a light jacket.
Yeah, I mean.
Not an overcoat.
It's not going to snow. Let's put it that way.
You're not slapping on a snorkel. With the fur around the hood. Yeah, we were talking about the heat when we went down in the elevator last night, and a local said, oh, you should stick around like for August because it's like 120 and the humidity is like 95%. I said, really? Tell me where I can go. I'd love to come.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
You leave the light on for us. The 0-2. Driven out into right field. Nick Swisher's there. Let's see if they can double him up. Gets back in time. None of the umpires made a call. Laz Diaz was out right. The second base umpire rotated over, John Hirschbeck, but I never saw him say safe or out.
I never saw a call either. Diaz is in charge of making sure on the trap ball he goes out to right field. And then Hirschbeck, as you said, is supposed to rotate over. There was no call. He was safe. Swisher makes an accurate throw to first base. But LaRoche gets back.
Well, you know what? It wasn't that clear that the umpire should make a call. Pitch inside. So they let Blaine Boyer hit. 0 for 7 career. And there's a strike. There's a strike. And the pitch. Driven out into right center field, but Granderson is there. And that'll do it. But not before the Diamondbacks take the lead. 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 man left. We go to the 5th. 4-2 D-backs.
Well, we got a minivan for the kids.
Right.
But we got a Sienna to match how awesome we are. I like to call it the swagger wagon. Yeah, we came up with that.
Swagger.
Now lease this year's IIHS top safety pick, Toyota's 2011 Sienna LE for just $269 a month.
You know, sometimes when we roll up in our swagger wagon and people see our style, I don't want to say that they get jealous.
Yeah, you do.
Yes, I do.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Does Charlie Daniels play a mean fiddle?
So how you do it, son?
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Our front door, our backyard, our pastime, our heart and soul. Blimpie has been a part of America's tradition for over 40 years. Our subs are made with fresh baked breads, quality meats and cheeses sliced to order, with tasty toppings and delicious dressings you love so much. Taste the difference freshness makes. Yesterday's traditions are still today's. Blimpie, America's sub shop.
Hi, everyone. Bob Lorenz with your Audi update. The Red Sox and Rockies, and not many teams had gotten to Colorado's Ubaldo Jimenez, but the Red Sox did. Even John Lackey, who was on second when Marco Scutaro broke the game open, top of the 6th, or at least broke the tie. Boston up 6-5, bottom of the 8th. All 6 of those runs earned against Jimenez. He hadn't allowed more than 3 all season, guys.
So Jimenez might take a loss. We thank you, Bob. We'll hear from you a little bit later on and on the post game. Kia scoreboard right here. The Diamondbacks lead the Yankees 4-2.
Oh, is he 13-1 coming in? 13-1.
Just over 1 ERA.
That makes you, shows you how impressive Bob Gibson's record is at 1.12 for a whole season.
Now, was that the year before they lowered the mound?
Yeah.
All right, so that was on the 15-inch mound. Now they lowered it to 10.
Yeah.
Because pitchers are tougher when they were throwing from a higher elevation. So Bob Gibson changed the game with that season.
He wasn't the only one. He had a lot of good pitchers around back in those days.
Those days, Danny McLean won 31 games. Boyer to Swisher. Hot shot to Drew. On one hop, the shortstop fires the first. One pitch, one out. Kirk Gibson is the bench coach here for A.J. Hinch and had many, many great moments in baseball, but none bigger than this one, Kenny, with the Los Angeles Dodgers.
1988, this is his only at-bat of the World Series. He was injured and hits a home run off future Hall of Famer Dennis Eckersley to win the ball game. He had been in the clubhouse, not expected to play. I think he had a very bad groin injury and could barely make it around the bases after hitting a game-winning home run.
Tough guy. He was on the '84 Tigers championship team.
Yeah.
That started the season 35-5.
He was the MVP that season with the Dodgers in '88.
I think he beat out Darryl Strawberry that year. 17 seasons in the bigs, MVP in '88, two-time champion, and this is his 4th season as the Diamondbacks bench coach. He had been a broadcaster too for the Tigers for a while. I heard a story yesterday about how he instilled this discipline in the Dodgers. He signed with the Dodgers as a free agent. And in spring training, they were in Vero Beach, and somebody had put eye black, you know, the stuff that people put under their eyes. They had put it on the rim of his hat. So he had worked out, and he took the hat off. He's on the bench, and everybody's laughing at him. And he looks at the hat, and he sees the eye black, and he marches into the clubhouse, and he demands Tommy Lasorda to come in. And he said, I want the person who did that to my hat. There's a line drive base hit. He said, I want them to come in and admit that it's them that did it. He goes, and I'm not taking the field until they come in and admit it. So Lasorda talked to the team, and the guy who admitted it comes over and says, I was just kidding around. And then Gibson stood up in front of the whole team. He said, I didn't come here to have fun. I came here to win a World Series. And this fun stuff that you guys laugh when you don't do the drills the right way, that's not how I roll. He said, things have to change here. This can never happen again. And so he instilled a little more discipline with the Dodgers, and they ended up winning the World Series. Here's Alex Rodriguez.
So it was his fault they won.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the more dramatic moments, and Eckersley threw him the only pitch that he could hit. He didn't have a bat speed with bad knees, and he gave him a slider.
See, what he did could work one of two ways. He was the new guy on the team. Sometimes they can rebel and say, hey, look, get him out of here.
But they just signed him to a big money deal, so he knew he had that leverage. The best part of that highlight, that, you know, you see that highlight forever, and as long as there's going to be baseball, you'll see it. Obviously, Dodger Stadium, the fans are leaving early, and they're listening on the radio to the Dodger game. And you could see when the ball leaves the bat and the announcer is saying it's going to go, all this cars stop. You see the red lights, the brake lights come on as if, oh, I'm going to get back in there in time.
Or somebody said, I told you we shouldn't have left. Wasn't that the great call by Jack Buck?
I can't believe what I just saw.
Yeah.
And I think it was Scully on the radio.
Still is. A few innings.
Watch this, Kenny. You'll see Eckersley deliver the slider, and then you'll see the cars hit their brake lights. Right now.
What they say to the fans at Dodger Stadium, they come late and leave early.
Yep. The 2-2. I covered that game as a newspaper writer for the Post.
You mean you actually went to the West Coast?
Yes, I did. I had to. And another thing that sticks in my mind about that night is Dennis Eckersley stood in front of his locker and with such class answered every single question. Hours of questions, the same question. This is a guy who hardly ever blew a game, and he blows that one. And the way he handled himself after the game, that's the sign of a Hall of Famer and a champion, which he's both. Alex Rodriguez works a walk. Runners on first and second, one out. So that's the third time tonight that A-Rod has walked. And A.J. Hinch has seen enough of these walks. I don't think he's also thrilled with James Hoy.
Well, like I said, it's kind of tough to walk this many men and have a lead in a ball game. Yeah, that's off the plate.
How did he want that first run? Well, you know what? When you're in the dugout, you can only see up and down. You can never see in or out.
That might have been low as well, though.
Here's Cano. Driven the other way. Parra giving chase. Oh, what a play! And the runners have to get back. Alex Rodriguez hustling to first, and he's going to be doubled up. What a play by Parra! Well, that is for the highlight reel, Kenny.
Parra to the warning track, and then makes an accurate throw to the relay man, and a double play to end the inning. Yankees not running the bases well tonight. We'll be back.
Cano absolutely scalded the first pitch from Boyer. And let's take a look now at the IOTV HD super shot, the catch by Parra.
Parra, concentration, the leap. If he was a right-handed thrower, he would not have been able to catch that ball reaching across his body. He can reach out, makes the play, has a presence of mind to get up and turn a double play. And there's a reaction. Pitchers always appreciate solid defensive effort.
Grounded to first off the bat of Kelly Johnson. One pitch, one out.
And the Yankees, who've had some problems on the bases tonight. A-Rod think that ball's in there. Round second. Has to touch it. Hustle back. There's the throw on the first, and he is doubled up.
You know, you could see there, Kenny, he had rounded second, and then he got confused and took like a couple little baby steps toward third before he headed back, and that's what cost him, because he just got nipped on the throw by Kelly Johnson. So you score that 7-4-3. There's a straight to Stephen Drew. Here's what I mean. See, I don't understand what those two steps were for. It's like he got confused.
You know, maybe when Parra hit the ground, he wasn't sure whether he had the ball in his glove.
Maybe. Lofted, left field line, foul territory. No one can get there. And the 0-2. On the Kia scoreboard, Diamondbacks lead the Yankees 4-2. This will be one of these games, Kenny.
Yeah.
If the Yankees don't win, they're going to be kicking themselves for all the missed opportunities.
Well, they've been doled out 9 walks. They only have 3 hits. That's the deal.
Well, we can look at it that way, and we can also say, well, they have 12 base runners in 5 innings. I mean, they've run into outs on the bases, which they hardly ever do. They're a very fundamentally sound base running team, and it's almost at the Diamondbacks saying, here, take the game, and the Yankees go, no. The 0-2. Popped up, again foul territory, again a long run by A-Rod, and he makes the play. Good play by Alex Rodriguez.
See his reaction, long run first of all, and number two, when you're playing in a strange ballpark, the Yankees, as we said, have not been here since 2004. And A-Rod with the long run, he's checking. You know, you try and figure out how many steps you had, and he had about 2 more to go. Takes another look, and then the steps get a little shorter, and he makes the play. And he's, hi, how you doing? I'm Alex Rodriguez. Probably a big thrill for that youngster.
The kid looked a little scared. We'll never forget that close encounter.
You know, the only bad news for the kid, if it was the 3rd out, he would have had a baseball.
Yep. There's a strike. Look at the kid's face. Hey, hey.
Ooh, careful there, big guy.
Count 0-2.
That's that breaking ball I was talking about that looks like a strike to a right-handed hitter and then all of a sudden disappears out of the strike zone. This is when Vasquez is really working the right-handed hitters over. There it is, drops out of the zone.
The 0-2. Driven out to deep center field. Granderson back. And right on the lip of the warning track, he puts it away. So a 1-2-3 inning for Javi Vasquez and the Yankees. He did it on 9 pitches, all strikes. We go to the 6th. Yankees down by 2. Paul, once again the question after today's match at Wimbledon has gone 10 hours and still going on, suspended by darkness. Would you sit through any sporting event for 10 hours? You've been texting us at 58772. Here's your answer. Wow, very close. 51%, very honest. They would not. I don't know if there's much that I would sit through for 10 hours.
Well, you flew to Japan a couple of years ago.
I didn't want to sit through that either.
Was that, what, 17 hours?
Yeah. But it was a quick 17.
Yeah. Had a good book. Or 2.
I was the only one who didn't sleep on the flight. But I'm the only one who didn't have jet lag once we got there. Well, the Red Sox have been tied up in the bottom of the 9th. Hot shot. Past the lunging Reynolds and down the left field line. Cervelli rounds first. He's going to second. Parra comes up throwing. It's a leadoff double for the Yankee catcher.
Cervelli hustling right out of the box, but once again, Parra showing his defensive ability in left field. Made a nice stop. This is a rocket by Reynolds at 3rd. He can't get it. Watch Parra. Look at this play and look at the throw. Actually made it close. Here's Cervelli coming out of the box. This is why this is a 2-base hit. This is how you do it, youngsters. Run hard, and it pays off with a leadoff double.
Count 1-1. That one's fouled away. Sam Demmel, we saw him in the first game. He's warming. And Marte for the Yankees. That one is lined into center field. Young coming on. Played on a hop. Cervelli had a hold up, so he advances to third. That's the second hit tonight for Granderson, and the Yankees have runners on the corners, nobody out.
Cervelli played it right at second. They wanted a fastball upstairs. It wasn't up far enough, and kind of a jam shot. If he hit it any better, it would have been an out. So Granderson gets a base hit out of it. Watch Cervelli at second. You saw the good base running to get a double. The Yankees are trailing. You don't take any chances. So he advances 90 feet. And the Yankee fans are starting to make some noise here in the desert.
So here's Gardner. He's 0 for 2, struck out looking and grounded to short. Reynolds is in at third. Diamondbacks looking for the double play. That would be some tough double play to turn. The combination of Gardner and Granderson. Yankees 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position tonight. Now it's going to be such a tough double play to turn, Kenny, that the shortstop and second baseman are not quite halfway, but say 3/4 of the way, because they realize they're going to have to get to the ball quickly, but that helps Gardner out too.
It does, because it opens up the holes even more. You can get the ball. If he hits the ball with any authority, he's going to get it by him, especially on this quick infield.
Count 2-0.
Now, one thing we've mentioned, Michael has mentioned many times about the Diamondbacks bullpen, but this applies to their whole pitching staff. They've had 26 innings against them where they've given up 4 or more runs. That's the most in the major leagues. So they give up the big inning. And the Yankees are trying to build one right here. You saw it in last night's game when the Yankees scored 6 in the 8th.
I got some news for you, Kenny.
Yeah.
Ian Stewart of the Rockies, a home run off Papelbon that tied at 6 in the 9th. And then Jason Giambi, a 2-run home run off Papelbon to win it.
Oh, man.
So the Rockies win that one 8-6. Runner goes, pitches a strike. Throw to second, not in time. Throw to third. Cervelli back. So a stolen base for Granderson.
And that kind of effectively takes away the ground ball double play. Granderson has not been caught stealing this year. He is now 6-0. See Curtis taking off on the right side of your picture there, and they throw through. Montero's trying to get him.
Strike. Count 2-2. So once again, for the second straight night, all the other AL East teams have lost. Can the Yankees take advantage again? Well, they've got to rally if they want to. Infield is back. They'll give up the run. The 2-2. And they will give up the run. And it's a perfect way to drive in a run other than with a hit. He hit it to the right side. The runner scores from third. Granderson moves to third. So now they can score on another out. It's 4-3 Diamondbacks, and they go pinch hit for Vasquez. They'll send up Colin Curtis.
This is last night. This capped off the 6-run 8th inning. Curtis's first major league hit is a 2-run double. And there's the ball that now is in his possession. And there's his parents and the very happy father. We saw him after the game. He
was still happy.
Yeah.
Infield is in. And off the glove of LaRoche, trickles behind him. It's going to be a base hit, and the Yankees have tied the game at 4. Probably scored a hit. It was hit so hard and handcuffed LaRoche. So the second pinch hit in a row for Colin Curtis, and the game is tied at 4.
Yeah, this is a breaking ball, and it was a rocket. Remember, the infield's in, and we already told you this infield is very fast. This one hung right there, and he scalds it. LaRoche is handcuffed. Ball almost knocked him over. Gets to the outfield grass. Curtis is going to have his second straight pitch hit. The Yankees have tied the game.
And that hit not only tied the game, but it knocked out Blaine Boyer. So the Diamondbacks will go to the bullpen again. And Anaheim helps send your favorite New York Yankees to this year's All-Star game by voting up to 25 times at Yankees.com. Visit Yankees.com and cast your ballot now for your 2010 All-Stars. Vote early, vote often, vote today at Yankees.com. See Javi Vasquez talking there with Francisco Cervelli. He can't lose the game. He can actually win the game now if the runner at first scores, because he's still the pitcher of record, and then the Yankee bullpen does its job. But Vasquez did not have good stuff tonight. Battled, scrambled, tried to get by with what he had, but made it work and held him to 4 runs over 5. Now Sam Demmel will come in and try to shut the Yankees down with a runner on first and 1 out.
Demmel actually worked in last night's game, worked a scoreless inning in the 9th, got the Yankees 1-2-3.
So here's Jeter, who is 0 for 2 with 2 runs scored. Shows bunt and takes it for ball 1-0.
Yeah, Reynolds was back at third. And now he's up a few more steps.
There's a strike from Demmel. That one's chopped to short. There's one. On to first. It's a double play. So Demmel comes on to get the job done. But the Yankees tie the score. 2 runs on 3 hits. Plus at the DP, nobody left. Time now for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. It's a great place to host your next corporate event, birthday party, and much more. NYY Steak will be hosting a rich wine tasting dinner on July 14th. So please call 646-977-8325 for reservations, or you can visit NYYsteak.com for details. New pitcher for the Yankees. It's going to be Damaso Marte. Those are the numbers on Marte. 24 games, 12 1/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 9 walks, way too many, and 9 strikeouts.
2 of the 3 scheduled hitters this inning for the Diamondbacks are left-handed. So Marte, the logical choice.
Montero, 1 for 1 with a walk tonight, has a 9-game hitting streak. Marte last pitched against the Phillies on June 17th. So 6 days ago, and he did not pitch well. Swing and a miss. Marte, it's really a delicate balance with him. You don't want to use him too much, but if you don't use him enough, he gets stale, and that's what happened against the Phillies. He just didn't have great command. He has it tonight, and he has a pretty live fastball.
You know what is happening there with Marte in particular? We had said how good or outstanding the Yankee starting pitchers have been. They've all been going in deep into ball games.
When you get to the 7th inning, usually the choice for the 8th is Java, and the choice for the 9th is Mariano. That doesn't leave much room for Marte or any of the others for that matter.
Line drive caught by Jeter. Against the Phillies, he walked Utley. He got Polanco a sac fly, and he got Ryan Howard a sac fly, and then walked Jason Worth. So it wasn't really a very good performance. Hey, Friday starting pitchers brought to you by Fios TV, Internet, and Phone. This is Beyond Cable. This is Fios. CC Sabathia for the Yankees against Vicente Padilla for the Dodgers. 1-1, 6.67 for Padilla. Our coverage will begin at 9 p.m. from Chavez Ravine. Now, CC was taking BP today, and he was excited to find out, or he asked Kenny, righty or lefty is pitching on Friday. Because he said, I don't hit that well against lefties.
He said, lefties give me trouble.
Loves to hit. Pitch to Chris Young is low.
It's the fun part of baseball. Getting your turn at bat.
One. Count 2-1. Bottom of the 6th, it's a 4-4 game. Yankees led 1-0, top of the first. Diamondbacks came back with 2 in the bottom of the first. Then the Yankees tied it up with a run in the 3rd, made it 2-2. Diamondbacks scored 2 in the 4th, made it 4-2, and the Yankees with 2 in the 6th have tied it. Count 3-1. And the 3-1. Missed outside, so Chris Young works a walk. His 2nd time on tonight.
We mentioned in the opening game of the series that Young possesses both power and speed. He does have 12 stolen bases, only been caught a couple of times. Maybe Marte, being a left-hander, will slow him down a little bit. Maybe he can slow down LaRoche, too. Look at the night he's having.
David Robertson gave up a run last night, kind of in a mop-up role with a big lead, and he's warming again tonight. So Young leads, and the lefty Marte against the lefty LaRoche. Each team with 6 hits. Yankees have left 6 runners on base, and the Diamondbacks 2. Yankees will go from trying to beat in the brains of the Diamondbacks to rooting for them over the weekend as Arizona flies across the country to meet Tampa Bay at Tropicana Field. Now Arizona is one of the worst road teams in baseball. They're 10-27.
Yeah, the Yankees going to have to root a little harder.
Count 1-1. Not a bad team at home, but on the road 10-27. Score about a run and a half less on the road. The pitching's about the same. 20 less home runs, though. 20 fewer home runs.
Speaking of rooting hard, did you Watch the soccer game this morning.
It's great.
Oh man, that was awesome.
Landon Donovan with a goal at the 91st minute. And the Americans win Group C, go to the next round. The next game is against Ghana on Saturday. And there's no group play then. You win, you move on. You lose, you go home. I've heard, Kenny, from friends back home, that the bars in New York City are jammed at 7 in the morning. People start getting ready for the game, starts at 10, and it's been a very popular pastime for people all around the city. A lot of soccer fans coming out of the woodwork.
I heard those are just the people that were there from the night before.
I didn't realize
they didn't
that,
leave, yeah.
Must have been in great shape.
Well, the city never sleeps.
The 2-2. So it's got a piece to stay alive.
7 a.m. Now, the last time I think that happened, when the Yankees went to Japan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those games started at 5, I believe. 5 in the morning. Yeah.
Well, some of those people must have the key to the establishments.
I remember our announcer crew was me, you, and a guy that just retired after spring training, Joe Girardi.
Yeah. He played his final game in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, tagged somebody out at home plate and was up in the booth the next day.
In the 2 exhibition games he played, and then, yeah, he was up in the booth the next day. He blocked the plate on one of his last plays ever.
Exactly.
Time is
They
called.
called
A
a
balk.
Yep. I don't know what Marte did. You know, sometimes a catcher can cause a balk because he hasn't finished running through the signs. Let's see what happens here. I thought he stepped off, but he must have moved before that.
2-2. That's off the glove of Cervelli. He goes to the backstop as Young moves up.
A balk and then a wild pitch, and now he's at third with 1 out.
And LaRoche has driven in all 4 runs already for the Diamondbacks. Now a chance at another ribby as the Yankees want to bring the infield in. Still don't see it. I thought that he had stepped off as well, but nobody argued. Maybe it was, Kenny, that he never got into a set and then stepped off. So the Yankees have the infield in, trying to cut off the run. Young with good speed at third. The 3-2. Slow roller in front of the plate. They can't make the play at the plate. The out is made at first. Young scores, and it's 5-4 Diamondbacks. So the balk is very costly, and so is the wild pitch.
I'll tell you what, that was some great base running decision by Chris Young at third base. He is on his own at that point. Takes the walking lead on the right foot and decides he can make it. It wasn't even close. He wouldn't have gotten him at home plate. Marte makes the right play by going to first to get the out, the second out of the inning. But we talked about his power and also about his speed, and there's an example of the speed as Chris Young scores from third on a little roller in front of home plate.
5 ribbies for LaRoche, gives him 50 on the year, and there's a strike to Mark Reynolds. He had 3 RBIs on Monday, so a big series against the Yankees. Pitch outside. And he wasn't expecting great things coming into this game, Kenny. He came into the game, LaRoche did, 2 for 16 against Vasquez. One.
Getting back to that play by Young at third, there's no coach who can help you on that. He doesn't just say go. I mean, you make up your mind on your own.
Well, Young created that run, a walk. He moved to second on a balk. Wild pitch to third and heads up base running. He scores on a slow roller in front of the plate. And Juan Gutierrez for the Diamondbacks in their bullpen. 3-1, and he walked him. Marte just not that sharp of late. And here comes Mike Harkey, the acting pitching coach, as Dave Island remains on leave for personal reasons from the team. Robertson is ready. He's just a spectator now.
Yeah, it's been a duel of the pitching coaches. Harkey's been out there a few times. We've seen Mel Stoudemire Jr. from the other dugout trying to encourage the pitchers who haven't really had a good night.
Mel's been burning up the phone lines tonight. So Harkey finishes with his talk, and here's Gerardo Parra.
This guy's been impressive this series. Good defensive plays in the outfield. Had a big hit in game 1. And here, speaking of the good defensive play in the outfield, this might be the play of the game right here. Parra robbing Cano of an extra base hit, and then the Diamondbacks turn it into a double play by doubling A-Rod off of first base, and that got them out of a jam.
Count 0-2. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and the Diamondbacks have retaken the lead, up 5-4. And this will be the 25th pitch of the inning for Marte, who steps off. And the pitch. Snap throw to first. Diving back is Reynolds. Missed outside.
Throw down to first base looked like a set play with a pitch to waist, a high fastball. You take it, take a chance on picking a runner off. He falls asleep.
The 2-2. Chopped slowly left side, fielded by A-Rod, fires to first, just got him. Parra hustling down the line. But the Diamondbacks, 1 run on no hits, no errors, 1 man left. Let's take a look now at the Yankees in-game box score, brought to you by McDonald's. Nick Swisher with an RBI single. Mark Teixeira has a single. Francisco Cervelli a double and a run scored. Curtis Granderson, maybe he's breaking out of his slump. 2 for 3, a double and a run scored. RBI ground out by Gardner. 2 walks by Vasquez. Colin Curtis in the number 9 hole. A pinch hit single and an RBI. Verizon Wireless scoreboard. Diamondbacks lead 5-4. There's a little guy that had the close encounter with A-Rod. Looks like he's having a close encounter with ice cream now. Nick Swisher will lead off. And Demmel deals outside 1-0. Swisher, Teixeira, and A-Rod here in the 7th. Swisher 1 for 2 with a walk. And the count 2-0. Yankees tied the game in the 6th, but the Diamondbacks came right back in the bottom of the inning to take the 5-4 lead. You know that Nick Swisher would love to make the All-Star team, and he's having a pretty good year too. And I believe he's 5th in the voting the last time I checked. And I said to him, I said, why don't you just, I mean, he's got 1.2 million Twitter followers.
Gotcha.
I said, why don't you just ask all your followers to vote for you 25 times? I said, I would feel cheap if I did that. 3-0. There's a strike.
He's never made the All-Star team before.
No. And he doesn't deny that it would be a big deal for him.
And you know, how can you feel cheap when other, the teams?
A lot of people do. A lot of teams have campaigns.
Oh my goodness.
I actually was watching some highlights of a Ranger game last night, and they have huge signs like "Vote for Ian" on the outfield wall, where other teams have ads. They have like big posters politicking for their fans to vote, and their fans have done a good job. And the 3-2. But I said to Nick, I said, you know, you do the math. If every one of your 1.2 followers voted the 25 times they could vote online, it would be a landslide. And he laughed. He said, yeah, but I'm not going to do that. Hitting 300, 11 homers, 45 ribbies. And he swings and misses. One away here in the 7th.
It was a good comeback by Demmel to get Swisher out. He'd fallen behind on the count. Got a little cut on that just underneath the bat of Swisher. Had a good pass at it, but no contact.
Here's Teixeira. And a strike.
It's like you're waiting for the Yankee offense to break loose tonight. They've only been set down in order in 1 inning. That was the 2nd. They've got a few big hits, but nobody's run one out of here.
We were talking about all-star politicking, Kenny, and a good buddy of mine, the director of the Knick games on the MSG network, Howie Singer, just texted me and said that Chris Bosh of the Raptors actually did a YouTube video to get all-star votes. Now you're going to ask me, did he make it or not? I'm not quite sure, but he did. He put together a very funny YouTube video to ask for votes.
I think I saw that.
Did you?
It was well done. I didn't vote for him though.
1-2. Could not hold up. Pitch in the dirt. Montero gets an angle. 2 away.
Alex has had an opportunity to swing the bat tonight. He has drawn 3 of the 9 walks that the Yankees have gotten.
Last time up, he was doubled off after Cano's liner. There's his buddy. Cano's liner was caught on a dive by Parra. A-Rod running from first had already gone past second, had to retrace his steps and couldn't get back in time. Off-speed pitch for a strike. Alex had 3 RBIs in yesterday's game.
Another off-speed pitch.
And the count 1-2. So Montero goes out and talks with Demmel. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out.
Yeah, the D-backs have been trying to gather some semblance of the bullpen, and they had actually traded for Demmel, got him out of the A's organization. Made his big league debut Wednesday against the Red Sox. He hadn't given up a run since he's been here.
2-2. Strike 3. Alex down looking. Strong inning for Demmel as he retires the side in order with 2 strikeouts at the end of 6 1/2. 7th inning stretch here in Arizona. 5-4 D-backs. Well, thank you, Bob. We'll hear from Bob and Jack and Kimberly on the WB Mason postgame show on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard. Diamondbacks lead 5-4. Talking about, remember one of the, I think you made the call. One of Giambi's walk-off hits with the Yankees, that grand slam in the rain against the Minnesota Twins in extra innings.
I think the Twins had just scored 3 in the top half of the inning.
Yep.
And it looked like it was going to be a Yankee loss. And rain was starting to come down. And shortly after the ball landed in the bleachers, I mean, it started pouring.
Well, they have Marte warm up, and then Girardi signals for Robertson, who jogs in. So it'll be Robertson coming out for the Yanks. Stay where you are. Pitch by pitch brought to you by Suzuki Kizashi.
Here's the sequence against A-Rod. Breaking ball outside for ball 1. Comes right back with another one. Gets the corner. Evens it up. Looked like an off-speed pitch. Swing and a miss. Misses. This all sets up. Fastball inside. Catches him looking.
Now, Joe Girardi waited till they sent the pinch hitter up for Demmel, but the pinch hitter was Tony Abreu, who's a switch hitter, and then he brings in Robertson. So kind of just delayed matters. Count 1-0. Verizon Wireless scoreboard 5-4. Diamondbacks over the Yanks. Bottom of the 7th. Grounded up the middle. Jeter. And Teixeira could not come up with a scoop.
Now, it looked like when Derek went to plant, he lost his footing. I don't know if that's,
And now he's limping around back there.
Yeah, you can strain a groin muscle, but when he went to plant that back foot, it looked like the foot came, and you can see he was replacing the divot there.
And Girardi and Gene Monahan, the trainer, going out to look at him.
Yeah, it looked like, and this might have forced the throw offline. He's going to plant the right foot. He slips. Yep. Still continues on with the throw. Can't get that much on it. Teixeira can't handle it. And Abreu's going to be safe. Jeter, for now, is going to stay in the ball game. Just as he goes to plant, his turf gives way, and that's going to be a hit for Abreu.
Well, generous official scoring. So a pinch hit single. And that brings up Kelly Johnson.
Let's see how the Diamondbacks play it here. Do they play for 1 run? There's the obligatory throw of the first base. Let's see if Johnson gives away, whether he's bunting or not. He's still looking at third base coach Bo Porter. A-Rod's expecting the bunt. He's in on the grass at third. Another throw to first.
Robertson pitched the 9th inning yesterday, gave up 2 hits and a double to Johnson to drive in a run. Johnson's bunting and missed. Count 0-1.
And we mentioned the other day that Johnson's among the league leaders in extra base hits. And this is from your second baseman. He only has 1 sacrifice bunt this year. And it looked like he bunted right through a pitch that was pretty easy to get down. Sometimes the manager will see that and try and change things up and let him swing away.
(5-4) Diamondbacks lead. Big lead for Abreu. Very close.
Watch the swipe tag. He's going for the back corner of the bag. Yeah, he got in there safely. But sometimes the degree of difficulty for the runner to get back will tell you that he's thinking about getting a good jump and going.
The 0-1. Let's see if they can turn 2. There's 1. On to first. It's a double play. So a 4-6-3 double play off the bat of Kelly Johnson.
You know, Robinson Cano has been in the middle of double plays, whether the starting it or the relay man to first base. He's had a tremendous season at second base. Not only is he leading the league in hitting, but he's also leading the league in fielding percentage at second base. And no second baseman has ever won a batting title and won a Gold Glove in the same year.
I could take that a step further, Kenny.
Yeah.
No second baseman has ever won a batting title and a Gold Glove in his career.
All right. In the same season?
No, in his career.
Really?
Yeah. So if you're a good hitting second baseman, you're not winning a Gold Glove. And if you're a Gold Glove second baseman, you are not winning the batting title. Never, ever in the history of baseball. There's a strike.
So he might be seeing a first, huh?
Looks that way.
At least halfway through the season, or just about halfway.
And the 1-2. Missed low. 2-2. And the pitch. Still 2-2.
Stephen Drew got a hit his first time out. Broken 0 for 15, but he's 1 for his last 18. Sometimes you feel like you're never going to get another hit, or you're never going to get hot again.
And he's still not. So he strikes out looking. No runs a hit, no errors, and because of the double play, nobody left. 10 pitches, Robertson got it done. We go to the 8th, 5-4 D-backs. Well, tonight throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we are asking you to vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. You can text your vote to 58772, or you could vote online at yesnetwork.com. Here are tonight's candidates. Number 1, Adam LaRoche. Number 2, Nick Swisher. Number 3, Curtis Granderson. Number 4, Chris Young. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates certainly do apply. Yankees running out of time. Another pitcher out of the bullpen for the Diamondbacks as the Yankees trail 5-4, and it's Juan Gutierrez, the 4th pitcher used by the Diamondbacks. Dontrell Willis started, had no concept of the strike zone. Then it was Blaine Boyer, Sam Demmel, and those are the numbers on Gutierrez. 30 hits in 23 and 2/3 innings, a very Zoftig 8.37 ERA. Cano leads off. Swing and a miss. Really good story on SI.com by Tom Verducci about Robinson Cano, and he talked in depth with the Yankee batting coach Kevin Long. And Kevin Long told Robinson Cano this spring training, I do not want you to swing at the first pitch the entire spring training. I want you to be able to identify pitches. And Long said that his problem in the past was he could put any ball in play. He said, and I knew he was always going to be a really good player. He said, but we want to take the step to make it an MVP. He said, I want him to just swing at pitches he could drive. I don't necessarily want him to walk, but I want him to swing at strikes. He said, I'd like him to walk 35 to 45 times, but swing at strikes. And he's done that so far. He's put together a great year.
21 walks.
So he's about halfway there.
He's on pace. He's only struck out 34 times.
Sliced to left field, a base hit. First hit of the night for Cano.
If it wasn't for Parra out in left field last time, it might have been his second hit of the night. Cano has had one hit in each game in this series. And one thing about Cano, 24 hits to left field, 24 to center, and 47 to right. He uses the whole field. That's his 25th hit to left field this year.
Here's Cervelli. Do you play for the tie on the road? Usually you don't. That goes up against baseball and the unwritten rule. You try to win on the road.
You see Reynolds at third, even with the bag. Cano called timeout. He wanted to see the signs.
Yeah, he could not see Rob Thompson. Shows bunt, then pulls back. 1-0. I think he's just trying to draw the infield in. I don't think he had any intention of bunting there.
They're already pretty close at third. Cervelli ripped the double. That's shows the bunt, draws it back, and the pitch is low.
The Yankees have had a lot of opportunities tonight. Swing and a miss. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Missed outside. Only 2 other games going on in the bigs. Everything else is over. The Mariners beating up on the Cubs 8-1 as Lou Piniella returns to Seattle. That's in the top of the 9th. And the Angels beat the Dodgers yesterday, leading the Dodgers 2-1 in the top of the 9th. Everything else in baseball is over. And Bob Lorenz will give you the highlights on the WB Mason postgame. Breaking ball strike. If you throw 95 and you drop an 83 in there, you're going to be tough. But he hasn't been doing that enough this year. That's why he's pitching to an over 80 ERA. Curtis Granderson with 2 hits. He's on deck. Fly ball right field. Upton is there for the first out.
You know, watching Gutierrez work, the Yankee hitters probably never seen this guy before. And sometimes your pitcher, you can skate 1 inning. Get out of there, get your job done, pass it on to the next guy. But it's all about making good pitches. And Granderson's had a good night already. He's swinging the bat well.
There's a strike to Curtis. He struck out, or should I say he flied out to center in the second. Doubled over the head of Young in center in the 4th. and then singled to center and ended up scoring later on in the 6th. Also had a stolen base in that 6th inning. Quickly up in the count, 0-2 is Gutierrez.
And Granderson has not seen a fastball yet.
The 0-2 jumps out of the way of a breaking ball, count 1-2.
Yeah, I think he wanted him to get it down and in, maybe have a Granderson chase it. Wasn't close enough to the strike zone.
Mel Stoudemire Jr. calling the pitches, or at least pitch outs from the dugout. Check swing, but he foul tipped it into the glove of Montero for a strikeout. Just nicked the bat.
Now this is frustrating as a hitter when this sort of thing happens. Tried to check a swing. It was a ball out of the strike zone. They wanted a fastball in. Foul tip into the glove of Montero.
Now Gutierrez will face Gardner with Jorge Posada looming on deck as a pinch hitter. Pitch is low, 1-0. Yankees have already used Colin Curtis off the bench, and he pinch hit an RBI single. Reynolds in on the grass at third. LaRoche holds Cano at first. There's a strike. He's got a good fastball.
Yeah, he does. And you mentioned the fact that there's a discrepancy in the speed of the pitch is a major one at that. At least 10 to 12 miles an hour. All that coupled with an unfamiliarity and you're going up there semi-blind against a pitcher you haven't faced before.
That one is looped into shallow center. It is a base hit. Cano around second. He'll go to third. It's a single for Gardner. The tying run now 90 feet away. And the Yankees will turn to Posada to try to drive it in.
Here's Gardner, not hit well, but well placed. Kind of fights it off into center field. It's going to drop in front of Young. And Cano reading it off the bat well, scampers to third base where he represents the tying run. With 2 outs, he's off with the crack of the bat.
Yankees down by 1. 5-7-0 for the Diamondbacks. 4-8-0 for the Yankees. As a pinch hitter, a .281 hitter in his career. 9 homers and 26 ribbies. Gardner a threat to steal. And there's a strike. Dropped in a breaking ball. There's a danger of having Gardner steal and then he gets thrown out and you've wasted Posada's bat. It's 0-2.
Another off-speed pitch.
If Gutierrez is going to get over those off-speed pitches, there's going to be trouble. Because you're just sitting fastball at 95 and you're trying to react to everything else. Got the fastball, but out of the strike zone high. Wanted him to chase.
Trying to pick up the same sort of situation he got with Granderson.
The old fake to third, fake to first. Made famous by Jeff Nelson. Top of the 8th. Gutierrez, the 4th pitcher by the Diamondbacks. Runner goes. Popped up and out of play. Obviously, Posada has to protect the strike zone.
but that was a stolen base. They didn't even cover it.
No, they didn't. They didn't even cover, which means they're going to give them the base. Because if they throw down there and anything happens poorly with the throw, Cano can score from third base. So they're going to give Gardner second base. Just let him go.
Now, do you think they would have given it to him earlier in the count?
Probably. Yeah, maybe. You know, he's tough to throw at anyway.
Yeah. That would have been a good move then early. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Posada on a breaking ball. No runs, 2 hits, and the Yankees strand 2. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 5-4 Diamondbacks. Another wasted opportunity by the Yankees in the top of the 8th. The difference in this game now is our Land Rover drive of the game. Why get a car when you can own a Land Rover?
Well, Adam LaRoche has had a big night. He's driven in 5 runs, but here's the one that was the Land Rover drive of the game. As Chris Young made a good decision, scored from third, and that is the difference in our ball game.
Pretty impressive 8th inning for Gutierrez. Worked into and out of trouble, and here's the final strike.
Looked like a splitter, some sort of off-speed pitch, and he looks like a Jabba-like celebration.
Yeah, that was either a really tight breaking ball, A.J. Hinch liked it, or a splitter where the bottom just dropped out.
I'll tell you what, on this team, the closer's job is open, and I think several of these relievers know it.
Speaking of fist pumps, the Yankees bring in Jabba Chamberlain, who really looked good last night, throwing 98 miles an hour. Pitch to Upton is low. So Vasquez started, went 5, then Damaso Marte for 1, Robertson for 1, and now Jabba as he goes 97 miles an hour. Swing and a miss.
Woof. 98. Of course, an off day tomorrow for the Yankees out on the West Coast in LA, so a chance for the bullpen to rest up for a day, so everybody should be ready to go on Friday night at Dodger Stadium.
We have not seen Jabba throw like this 2 days in a row since he came up in '97. Really, you keep wondering, well, where are those 5-6 miles an hour? Well, he's found them here in Arizona. Impressive, consistently throwing in the upper 90s.
Well, you can't get loose out here. It's warm enough.
1-2, swing and a miss.
Slider at 91 miles an hour. Target's low and away from Cervelli, and it looks like Upton might have foul tipped it, maybe not, but he's out of there. 91 and breaking away.
And here is Miguel Montero. He is 1 for 2 with a walk. Count 1-0. Ripped to center field, almost hit John Hirschbeck. It was hit so hard. Montero's been impressive. So his second hit tonight. Let's check out the Diamondbacks in-game box score, brought to you by McDonald's. Montero has picked up his second hit. LaRoche is the star of the game, though, 2 for 3 with 5 runs batted in, 2 2-run singles, and then an RBI ground out, the difference in the game. 2 runs scored by Chris Young, and that's the box score.
And Montero's 5th hit of the series. He had 3 in the opening game. I don't think he had a cheap hit in the bunch.
And even when he made out, he lined out the shortstop in the 6th. A hard line drive. A breaking ball there to Chris Young settles into the strike zone. If you want to look ahead to the 9th inning for the Yankees, top of the order, Jeter, Swisher, and Teixeira. Shattered bat, ground ball to Jeter. There's one. That's all they'll get. Chris Young's too quick.
Ball wasn't hit all that hard. And with Chris Young at first with 2 outs, I suspect that he might be a stolen base threat. Well, the level of alert will move up. You can see the broken bat, which automatically is going to slow things down on the ground ball. And that's all they're going to get, the force on Montero at second. And Chris Young at first leads the backs in stolen bases with 12.
Here's LaRoche. 5 ribbies on the game. Breaking ball is low.
With 5 runs batted in, he's tied his career highs.
Young just got back.
It's the fourth time LaRoche has driven in 5 runs in a game. Here's a look at the throw over the first. And
count 2-0.
you watch the base runners at first, and sometimes you can tell when they tense up and they show that they're going to go. The greatest base stealer of all time, of course, is Ricky Henderson, and his lead was the same every single time. You get no indication when he was going. And sometimes you see the runner tense up. Like he's trying to get the spring in his legs to get going.
Keeping Young close. Crowd of 46,000 at 325. A couple of murmurs. Runner goes. Throw to second. Not in time.
Yeah, that was a tough pitch to throw on. So Young's going to pick up his 13th steal, gets himself into scoring position. You had a feeling he was going at some time during the at-bat. Pitches the slider down and in. LaRoche getting out of the way over his head. You know, to throw out base stealers like Chris Young, who have the good speed, everything has to be just about right. And you can see right from the beginning, the chances of getting him were going to be very, very difficult. And now they're not going to mess around with LaRoche.
And there's ball 4, so an intentional walk to LaRoche, and they'll take their chance with Reynolds, who is a bit of a strikeout machine. I keep looking at Reynolds, and I was trying to come up all series with his lookalike, and I finally have it.
You do.
Jared Washburn, who's still looking for work.
Yeah, he is.
So Chamberlain against Reynolds.
Good slider.
He's throwing the slider at 90.
This will get your attention if you're a right-handed hitter. Ball disappeared.
Another slider.
Carbon copy. They don't have carbon copies anymore, though, do they?
No.
Nope. Sadly, that's a thing of the past. It's a lot neater, though, get rid of carbon copies.
The 0-2. 1-2. Young is at second. LaRoche is at first as the Diamondbacks are looking for insurance as they head to the ninth. The title of closer falls on Aaron Heilman. We'll see if they bring him in. Gutierrez was pretty good in the eighth. Let a couple of people on, but got out of it. And it is Aaron Heilman. The 1-2. Strike 3. Slider whispering across the outside corner. 2 strikeouts for Jabba. Derek Jeter will lead it off. Then Nick Swisher. Then Mark Teixeira. Is there 3 runs there? Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Honda. Look for money-saving leases and low financing at your Honda dealer. By J&R Music and Computer World. And by Mazda. Zoom, zoom. Well, it comes down to this for the Yankees. 9th inning against Aaron Heilman. That'll be the top of the order as the Yankees need at least 1 to stay alive. Heilman's just become the closer. He has 1 save. 2-1. About a hit per inning. 25 strikeouts, 10 walks. He's gone from starter to kind of long man to setup man and now to closer. He's had a lot of roles in his big league career.
And his career, he comes into this year with 10 saves.
Always preferred being a starter. Did not like when he was moved to the bullpen.
And 5 of those 10 came in 2005 with the Mets.
The 1-0. 2-0. Not an overpowering pitcher. Likes to sink the ball. Wants to pick up the grounder. Nick Swisher is on deck. Kind of a hold your breath moment for A.J. Hinch as he's trying to find somebody to consistently close games. It was Chad Qualls for a while. Now it's Heilman. The 2-0. There's a strike. Heilman's throwing 92-93. Diamondbacks in rebuild mode. If he can show anything, he could be trade bait as you approach the July 31st deadline. Same thing with Adam LaRoche. The 2-1. Goes inside, ties him up 2-2.
Hadn't shown a breaking ball yet. All fastballs so far to Derek Jeter.
Everyone in the American League East is lost. The Yankees could pick up a game on all four. The 2-2. But they've got to win this one. In 8 innings, the leadoff hitter for the Yankees has reached base safely 4 times. Jeter's 0 for 3, but he scored twice, walked once, reached on a fielder's choice. Time called again. And the 2-2. Jeter's worked the count full.
Off-speed pitch. You would figure that it's going to be a fastball.
Yankees have worked 8 full counts tonight. They've certainly had their base runners. How many walks you have for them, Kenny? 9 or 8?
I've got at least 9.
9 walks and 8 hits, so 17 base runners. 4 runs. They've left 8 runners on base. 3-2. He walked them. So another walk. And for the 5th time in 9 innings, the leadoff batter is on. Hey, after the last out of this series, you have to catch the WB Mason postgame to get highlights from this game and all the others around the majors, plus all of the clubhouse reaction from the team and, of course, Joe Girardi. Bob Lorenz, Jack Curry, and Kimberly Jones, it's all coming up on the WB Mason postgame only on Yes. Mariano throwing just in case. There's a bottom of the 9th. Here's Swisher. Jeter leads off first. 1-0.
One reason some pitchers don't like pitching out of the bullpen is because the closer you get to the 9th inning, a little tougher to get those last 3 outs.
That was a breaking ball that kind of hung. Maybe even a change.
Maybe change up. Let's take a look. Change, a split or something. No, it was only 83 miles an hour.
One.
Came with it again. Swisher out in front. Let's see if we get the tumbling effect. The ball moving down and away.
A rally cat action here in the desert. And the 1-2. Nice block by Montero.
With the backs leading by 1 run, the outfielders are deep. They don't want the ball to go over their heads, but what that does, particularly on a base hit to center field or to right field, it almost ensures that Derek Jeter can get to third base. Really going to have to be a rocket to hold him at second.
Swisher just laid off that pitch. Boy, was he tempted. Another full count.
Yeah, here's the decision now for Joe Girardi. Does he send Derek Jeter on the 3-2, trying to stay out of the double play? Here's that. Yep, it's up and away out of the strike zone. He has stayed with that off-speed pitch to Swisher.
9 full counts for the Yankees. Does Jeter go? Leads off first. Does not. And Swisher walks. 2 walks to open the inning by Heilman. Stoudemire goes out and talks. 11 walks issued to the Yankees. And we have a pinch runner for Nick Swisher because that's the go-ahead run at first. It's Kevin Russo. So the Yankees making it interesting on a night when they've let so many opportunities get away. Another opportunity here in the 9th inning. First and second, and nobody out.
They've been handed many opportunities. All these base on balls.
Here's Teixeira. He's been walked twice. 1 for 2. So Russo at first is the pinch runner. Jeter's at second. Good speed on the bases for the Yanks.
Only 1 walk is scored, believe it or not.
2 for 4 against Heilman. 1 home run lifetime. And he takes a strike.
Once again, that off-speed pitch.
On deck for the Yankees is Alex Rodriguez. That time the fastball fouled back.
After the off-speed pitch, he follows it with a fastball. It's a dangerous one right towards the middle.
The only walk that scored was the Jeter walk to start the game. He walked on 4 pitches against Dontrelle Willis. Now this has been a sloppy game for both teams, but for the Yankees a 9th inning rally could serve as a deodorant for what has been bad base running, lack of clutch hitting. They do not want to come into Arizona and lose 2 out of 3 to this Diamondback team.
And it certainly make for a happier plane ride to Los Angeles at a 9th inning rally.
And a better off day. The 0-2. Grounded to first. Nice play by LaRoche. And he flips to Heilman as the runners move up. All right, Kenny, now let's manage because this gets tough now.
Yeah, it does.
You got first base open, but you have the best hitter, at least average-wise in baseball, on deck in Robinson Cano. What do they do with A-Rod?
First of all, you look and see how they're going to set the infield. It might tell you what they're going to do. And it looks as though they're going to bring the infield in, which would lead you to believe they're going to pitch to A-Rod.
And it shows you the value of protection in a lineup. The only reason A-Rod is being pitched to is because they're more afraid of the guy behind him than him. Because the play would be to walk him and set up the double play. So the infield is in with Jeter at third. High fly ball. That should get the run in. Upton makes the catch. Tagging is Jeter. The throw will go to third. The Yankees have tied the score on the A-Rod sac fly.
And Jeter scores. The second walk has come in to score. Cano's coming to the plate, but he's not going to get a chance to hit.
So Kevin Russo is the go-ahead run at second. Alex with a ribby is 49th of the year. And they will intentionally walk Cano, and they'll take their chances with a guy who's done a good job with runners on base all year, and that's Francisco Cervelli.
A-Rod didn't waste any time, did he? Jumped on that first pitch.
So Heilman comes in and blows the save. And the game is tied.
For the second time in an inning, the Yankees have scored a run without a hit.
So there's a walk to Cano. It's intentional, and that'll bring up Cervelli.
Should say the second time in a game the Yankees have scored a run without a hit.
With runners on base this year, Cervelli 25 hits in 73 at-bats. That's updated after the fly ball with a runner on in the 8th. And with runners in scoring position, 415 this season.
Well, now the outfielders have moved up because they need to make a play at the plate.
Hyman deals. Breaking ball strike.
All the other games are over in baseball.
Fastball blown right by him, 0-2. Now Mariano is warmed in the Yankee bullpen. Would they bring him in if it's just a tie game? That would almost necessitate that he pitches 2 innings. Who would close the game if he doesn't pitch 2 innings? But we'll see how this plays out. If Russo doesn't score, then it's a tough call. If he scores, of course, that's the no-brainer.
No, Job is not out of the game yet.
That's true. Strike 3. Now we'll see. So Cervelli strikes out looking, and he does not like the call. Yankees get 1 run and no hits. 2 men left on base. Girardi has to protect Cervelli. He's his last catcher. Let's go to the bottom of the 9th. Well, some moves by Joe Girardi, and they are somewhat debatable. Obviously, you bring in Mariano Rivera. Now, anytime you bring in Mo, well, it seems like a good move, but Kenny, with the score tied, obviously this is not a safe situation. We're on the road, so even if the Yankees score in the top of the 10th, does Mariano pitch a 2nd inning, which they've stayed away from this year? And by bringing in Mo here, that is a loud, loud message that they have no faith whatsoever in Chan Ho Park.
Well, Chan Ho Park's been giving up too many home runs of late, too many runs, instant runs of late. So you bring in Mariano. I get the feeling on an off day tomorrow, there is a distinct possibility he would go for 2 innings.
Yep, well, he's going to have to.
Yeah.
Because if they don't trust Chan Ho Park in a tie game, they're not going to bring him in with a lead. Now, Chad Huffman takes over in right, so what that means is that Mariano is going to bat 2nd in Swisher's spot, and Huffman's going to bat 9th, so that's the extent of the double switch.
You know what? That might even ensure even more so that Mo would pitch a couple of innings.
Mariano deals to Mo, 1-0. Last time Mariano pitched was Sunday. And a strike. Well, there's Rivera batting behind Jeter. And due up Granderson in the 10th. He has pitched a 7-inning perfect game, the longest streak of his career, 21 batters straight. Power could not hold up, 1-2.
There's some of these younger players on the Diamondbacks, and they have a very young ball club. First at bat ever against Mariano.
Mariano is 1 strikeout away from tying Al Downing for 9th place on the Yankees all-time list. And with this appearance, he ties Raleigh Fingers for 18th place on baseball's all-time games pitched list with 944. One-two. Power fighting.
And he is pounding it in on his hands. Cutter after cutter, the signature pitch.
And the pitch. Soft ground ball to second. Broken bat. Cano will get Parra for the first out. Rusty Ryle is going to pinch hit for Heilman here with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th.
There's definitely a lot more bookkeeping in the National League style game on your scorecard.
There's a strike. Just missed with the cutter outside. And a lot of the Yankees were talking about how Mariano is suddenly gaining velocity again. Last year they felt he was living at 89-90. This year he's at 92-93. That's 93. And there was one game this year where he was touching 95. And it just seems against the laws of nature that a 40-year-old is suddenly gaining velocity again. The 1-2, swung on and missed. And that ties Al Downing with 1,028 strikeouts, 9th place on the Yankees all-time list.
I'll tell you another key here to see if he works another inning, how quickly he works through the Diamondbacks in this inning. Cutter off the plate. Ryle is out of there.
And there's the strikeout list, so he's already passed Clemens. Next up is Bob Shalke. And then his old pitching coach, Mel Stottlemyre. There's Kelly Johnson. Boy, is Mo dealing right now.
Yeah, he and Cervelli got a nice rhythm here. Just watch him get set, looking for the sign. He's ready to go.
Some bad memories on this mound for Mariano. 9th inning, Game 7, 2001. Blew the save and the World Series. Diamondbacks won the championship in 7. And the count now 1-2. And it all started with a single to lead off the 9th inning by Mark Grace, one of the Diamondback broadcasters. And that was after Mariano had struck out the side in the 8th. And there's Grace. The 1-2.
Well, the fans, Yankee fans, wanted this to be called strike 3. Ring him up.
Foul back. Sixteen pitches already thrown by Rivera. The 2-2. Still 2-2.
Mo's not wasting any time, is he?
That one is drilled deep to right, but foul.
That might have been his worst pitch in this inning. See if he tries the back door again.
Looks like he is. The 2-2. High fly ball, right field. Chad Huffman back. He's on the track, and he makes the play. So just a long out. 24 batters retired in a row by Mo. Free baseball. Bonus Cantos coming up. Hey, Monday on Yes, don't miss another chance to relive greatness on an all-new Yankees Classics. On May 14th in the Bronx against the Minnesota Twins, Alex Rodriguez hit his 19th career grand slam to top the Twins and lead the Bombers to another victory. See it all again Monday night at 7, only on Yes. I'm not quite sure, even if they win this game, that this is a classic. They've had a lot of opportunities, a lot of walks, and now they'll see the 6th Diamondback pitcher, Carlos Rosa, will pitch in his 14th game.
And this was not a classic right from the start.
Dontrell Willis could not find the plate in the first inning. The Yankees ran into a couple of outs. The Diamondbacks ran into a couple of outs. Mariano restores order in the bottom of the 9th inning, but now we go to the top of the 10th and the bottom of the Yankee order against Rosa. Granderson leads off. Pitches high.
And saw Rosa in the opening game of the series. He gave up a run. Pitched 1 inning.
Granderson 2 for 4 for the game. Double and a single, run scored. There's a strike. Count 2-1.
One thing about playing out west, all the games back east are complete. Everything that's been out here is complete.
That one's drilled deep to right field. Upton back, looking up, see ya! A go-ahead home run, Curtis Granderson, and the Yankees lead 6-5.
One thing about Granderson, when he was with the Tigers, he was a leadoff hitter. So he knows when he's leading off an inning, he should get something to hit. And a lot of times he hit leadoff home runs in an inning. And it's good to have a power hitter at the plate leading off an inning, because the pitcher does not want to walk him and get an inning going.
And the pitch to Gardner is a strike. Let's take a look at the Coors Light cold hard blast.
This is going to be Granderson's 7th home run of the season. Looked like a splitter, and he went out and got it.
Gardner pops it up foul. Crowd still buzzing over the home run. The 7th home run for Granderson. 3rd hit of the night. Yankees have been in the sort of game where they're just loving the go-ahead home run. Count 1-2. Granderson 30 home runs last year. Hits his 7th of this season. That one is chopped right side. Going to be a tough play. And Gardner beat it out. And it looks like Rosa's hurt. He is limping after the play at first.
Might have turned his ankle when he got to the bag. Let's see, the little roller. And anytime that Gardner puts the ball in play softly, yep, he chops this one right into the dirt. Let's see what happens at the tail end here. Oh, yeah, it looked like he turned his ankle at the bag. And he might have got tripped up with Gardner's foot. Let's take another look. There's a flip from LaRoche. Gardner coming in. Now, we can't see the foot. Yeah, it looked like he turned it. Looked like he turned his ankle, even though Gardner was blocking the view there. This might be the definitive view as to what happens with it. Yeah. Ooh.
Wow, he looked like he stepped on Gardner's hand, too. But Gardner's been having trouble with that left thumb, but it seems like he's okay. It's always heavily taped. And that's the danger of going in head first at first base. There's a lot of feet involved. And you can see that heavy tape on the left hand. From one angle, it looked like he stepped right on the hand. Let's see.
Slow things down here. Oh, yeah, he did. But, you know, it's a good thing it was heavily taped.
Yeah.
That might have cut him. There's the flip. Of course, Gardner's got the green light. There it is. Gardner's got the green light just about any time. Let's see how Joe Girardi wants to play this with Huffman at the plate. Does he want to bunt? Play for one more run? I don't think he should bunt. Let Gardner steal second.
Now, could get interesting as the inning moves on because Mariano's due up second after Jeter.
That will be when you find out if he's pitching. Somebody's warming up in the pen, though.
It's the left-hander Boone Logan. Now, I think the last time Mariano batted was in the Subway Series last year, and I believe he worked a walk against the Mets.
Was it with the bases loaded?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mariano threw 19 pitches in the bottom of the ninth. And he is the pitcher of record on the winning side. No save for him. But if the Yankees hold on here, he'd get a win. Now, if he stays in, might be new to the game, he doesn't get a save of his own win. He'll just get the win. He's got a bat next to him.
I wonder who put it there.
Now, the only reason that they would even think about using him 2 innings, and Kenny mentioned this earlier, tomorrow's an off day. Got the sense Mariano didn't want that kid sitting next to him in the dugout. Mo's sitting there contemplating. Kid in short sitting there. And Luke Kakuza gives him a batting helmet, so he is batting.
Look out.
Count 2-2.
Now, Gardner has 23 stolen bases. He's among the league leaders. But interesting, the race for the stolen base title in the American League is going to be a crowded one. There are 8 players in the league with 20 or more stolen bases.
Game's changing, Kenny.
But you're absolutely right, Michael. Stolen bases becoming more prevalent and more important to the ball game, the outcome of games.
Runner goes. Pitch foul back. He had a good jump.
And you got the usual suspects as far as the stolen bases are concerned. I mean, you got Carl Crawford up there. Juan Pierre's leading. Rajai Davis, Carl Crawford, then Gardner, B.J. Upton, Ichiro, Alex Rios, Scott Pasednik, all with 20 or more steals.
Trying to keep Gardner close. So Granderson leads off with a home run against Rosa. Infield single by Gardner. Still nobody out. Top of the 10th inning. A lot of Yankee fans here. Crowd erupted with the home run. You almost get the sense that there's probably about 20,000 Yankee fans because they average only 24,000 a game. And all of these games have been over 45,000. Chop toward third. Foul ball. He's out at first, but it doesn't matter because Wally Bell called it foul immediately.
Well, everybody did the right thing. Wally Bell called it foul. Reynolds wasn't sure. He followed through with the play. Huffman hustled down the line, and Laz Diaz called him out at first base. Reynolds, this is a heck of a play. Huffman can run pretty well. The scoop on the other end by LaRoche. You can see the ball just foul. Wally Bell calls it immediately, but Reynolds doesn't know. So he delivers. And got him on the other end.
Huffman really reached out to try to get the bag. Runner goes. And it's a stolen base. Montero couldn't handle it. Gardner thought about going to third as the ball got away from him, but he stays put with the stolen base at second. 24th stolen base for Brett Gardner.
24, so he's in 4th place in the league, following Pierre, Davis, and Crawford.
How many does Pierre have?
27, so it's pretty tight. Going all the way down to Pasednik of Kansas City, who has 20, along with Alex Rios and Ichiro Suzuki. All three of them have 20. Rios with the White Sox, and of course Ichiro with Seattle.
Huffman takes a pitch inside, so a walk. And the Diamondbacks bullpen is living up to its incendiary reputation.
There's still nobody out here.
And Stoudemire on the phone to the bullpen. And a little conference on the mound.
Now, they send Ramiro Pena out to the on-deck circle. This could be a deke. We'll see what happens. Mariano's getting some batting gloves. Now he wants him to put him down because he wants to carry out the deception.
What exactly is the deception, though? Can they only have right-handers?
Well, Jeter's not. No, it's not about the fact that Mariano's coming out of the game. That's what it's about.
Right. But I don't understand what the deception is. He's either going to bat or he's not.
Thinking that Jeter's going to bunt, you know, so you send up. Yeah.
Boone Logan continues to throw. And there's some action in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Fouls it back. Chad Qualls is up in the bullpen, the former closer.
See, if Jeter's bunting, then Mariano's coming out of the game.
Grounded to third. There's one. And there's two. That's the second double play that Jeter has hit into as Gardner moves to third. And now they call Ramiro Pena back, and it's going to be Mariano Rivera. Well, this is against Atlanta last year. They all thought he had his first hit ever, but it was a line out. Mariano's considered one of the best athletes on the Yankees. He's getting a standing ovation from many in the crowd here. They always say he's the best outfielder on the team. But let's see how he hits. He can give himself some breathing room.
You know, he might be under instructions. Don't swing.
And there's a strike. And they all can't wait for this at bat.
Ooh.
Oh, he's hacking.
He's hacking. He's smiling too. This is like must-see TV.
The 0-2. Grounded toward first. Grabbed by LaRoche, and he flips to Rosa, and that will do it. But the Yankees move ahead. And here's how they do it. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. The home run off the bat of Curtis Granderson has given the Yankees a 6-5 lead. The bench was looking for a hit from Mo. They didn't get it. They're looking for 3 more outs from him now to get the win.
Sectional.
Bottom of the 10th inning, and Mariano Rivera is going to try to close it out. Yankees have had their opportunities in this game. Now they have an opportunity to win, so they'll take a deep breath and they'll take this. Mariano threw 19 pitches in the bottom of the 9th. Grounded out to first base to end the top of the 10th. And now we'll try to pick up the win by getting these 3 outs. Remember, he's retired 24 batters in a row. Here's Stephen Drew against Mariano. And there's a strike. Yankees looking to take this series. The 0-1. 1-1. It'll be Drew, Upton, and Montero. 2, 3, 4 in the Diamondback order. And that one is looped into right field. It is going to dunk in for a base hit ahead of Huffman. So that breaks the streak of 24 in a row. And Mo's bid for a funky over 9 games perfect game derailed by Drew's single. But now, to more important things, that's a tying run at first base.
Now Drew broke his bat but picked up the hit.
Upton has great power. We saw him hit 2 home runs on Monday. And he's not bunting. Not your number 3 hitter with 13 home runs.
He doesn't have a sacrifice bunt, so that's not what he gets paid to do.
Foul back. Bottom of the 10th inning. Now, if you have stayed up with us this long, we certainly thank you for that, but we want to remind you, don't go to bed just yet, because following the final out, you got Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry and Kimberly Jones ready to put it all into perspective. Give you highlights from around baseball as well. That's the WB Mason postgame. The 0-2. Ripped down the left field line. It's a base hit. It'll go into the corner. Played out there by Gardner. Drew is at third. He'll stop right there. And now the Diamondbacks are set up. Second and third and nobody out.
Trying to get the ball in on Upton. And this is belt high. You can see him bring the barrel of the bat right directly to the ball. And it's just a matter of keeping it fair, and he does. Good play by Gardner to get the ball in quickly. The hold Drew at third base.
All right, let's manage with Joe Girardi, who just jogged out to the mound. Montero's been really tough.
Yeah.
You've got first base open. Now, if there's any pitcher that you feel comfortable loading the bases, it's Rivera, because he doesn't walk people. And you've got Young on deck. What do? Do you intentionally walk Montero?
I think you pass him. You go to Young, the right-handed hitter, who is more of a strikeout type hitter.
Well, they are going to intentionally walk Montero.
You also set up the force at the plate, and that's what he's talking over with Tony Pena now. That's where the bench coach become invaluable. Strategy.
Well, they're asking Mariano to do something he has not done all year. We told you they've been trying to stay away from it. This will be his first 2-inning outing. And now he's got himself quite a jam to get out of. Bases loaded, nobody out, protecting a 1-run lead in the bottom of the 10th. So with the bases loaded, Chris Young to the plate. Young's 1 for 3. He doubled in the 4th inning. Also walked. He scored twice. And Mariano's pitch count about to hit 30. The Yankees are going to bring the infield in. Diamondbacks 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Rivera. The pitch. Low 1-0. Still throwing 93 miles an hour. He worked an easy 1-2-3 ninth, but a single by Drew, a double by Upton. An intentional walk to Montero has loaded the bases. Strike. Caught the inside corner. LaRoche is on deck, and he has driven in all 5 runs tonight for the Diamondbacks. But Mariano trying to deal with Young first. Popped up. Behind the plate. The catch made by Cervelli. One away.
Just enough room behind home plate. We've seen Cervelli go back there several times during the series. And Young's reaction to fouling out to the Yankee catcher. One down.
And now the very, very dangerous Adam LaRoche. He's 2 for 3. 2-run single the first. 2-run single in the fourth. An RBI ground out back to the mound in the sixth and an intentional walk in the eighth. They put the infield back now to try to get the double play. In at the corners, back at second and short. It's hard for Mo to get double plays because batters usually don't hit the ball hard enough. One and one.
Well, if he doesn't hit the ball hard enough and he can only get one, they're going to give up the tying run.
One. Popped up. No run will score here. Infield fly rule called. And the Yankees are 1 out away from a win. And 1 out away from an improbable Houdini act by Rivera.
The signature pitch in on the hands. And LaRoche can't get the barrel of the bat on it. Boom. Pop straight up.
So now it's Rivera against Reynolds. Mark Reynolds tonight is 0 for 3 with a walk. Struck out looking his last time up against Jabba Chamberlain. Strike on the outside corner. And the 0-1. Missed outside, 1-1.
He tried to lead Reynolds to swing at a pitch that wasn't going to be in the strike zone.
The 1-1. Strike on the outside corner. One more strike. Rivera in his second inning of work. He's thrown 38 pitches. Bases loaded for the Diamondbacks. The Yankees clinging to a 1-run lead. And the 1-2. Missed outside. Wants to make it work on this pitch. The 2-2. He got him, and the Yankees win 6-5. The great Mariano with a Houdini act. Bases loaded, nobody out. Pop up, strikeout, and the Yankees win in 10 innings, 6-5. He never ceases to amaze.
And through all of that, you never saw him sweat. Mark Reynolds, who strikes out more than any other hitter in the game, becomes a victim of Mariano Rivera and the final out of the ball game.
40 years old, reaching back, pitching a second inning for the first time all year, and he wiggles out of a jam, much to the delight of the New York Yankees. And Reynolds swings and misses, and a pumped up Cervelli as the Yankees take this series 2-1. Each game different in its own way. This one very, very hard fought. Let's go down to the field and Kimberly Jones.
Thank you, Michael Mariano. I know you're you, but how did you just do that?
Just stay confident. You know, I mean, hold your composure, and the game wasn't over. So I had to make my pitches, and you know, the blessings from the Lord. Thank God.
Pop-up strikeout. Is the first pop-up the big one there?
Yeah, definitely. You know, you have opportunity to double play. And the next one, make a good pitch, then pop out again. So definitely this one is like we're going to go for the strikeout, and thank God it happened.
First 2-inning outing of the season for you, about 40 pitches. You were prepared to do that when you got the call. When you did, you're prepared to go to there, right?
Definitely. I mean, especially if we had the lead. You know, I had the opportunity to come back out and win the game.
And you really wanted to hit tonight, didn't you?
I did. I really wanted to hit, but didn't happen. So, I mean, I did, but didn't happen what I want to happen.
Because you wanted to get a hit.
I wanted to get a hit.
You were smiling at the plate. Did you notice your teammates all on the top step? They were having a party.
Well, they always do, especially when I'm hitting. I don't know. I think I'm the joke of the guys, I guess.
After all the missed opportunities tonight, a day off tomorrow, you guys have to feel good about winning this series by pulling this game out, right?
Well, I mean, we pulled this game, but we play horrible. You know, I mean, it's unacceptable. The way we play, we can't be playing games like that. You know, I mean, we're better than that, and I'm supposed to do what is right in baseball.
You said it. Mariano, thank you so much. And Kenny, he is sweating just a little bit.
Just a little bit, huh?
Thank you.